News coming in at this moment. We're given to understand that the Prime Minister will be at the BJP headquarters at around 6:30 p.m. this evening, and why not 3-1? And as Amit Malviya put it very aptly, it was a vote against the BRS in Telangana. Of course, the Congress party is ahead, winning the state, but it was a vote against KCR. In the other three seats, in the other three states, Tehseen Poonawalla, you've got a knock in your solar plexus.
Yeah, no, only solar plexus? Only?
Leave it to the solar plexus.
No. But one more thing. I don't think Prime Minister will go at 6:30. I think he'll go at around 8 o'clock. That's the Prime Minister's time.
And when he does that, I'm sure there'll be one section of the media saying, look, he's taking ownership of the victory whenever. But it is true. It is his day. Exactly. So then please tell your colleagues in your party that he will take ownership of loss as well as victory.
एक बार बोलता हूँ, मेरी बात कोई नहीं सुनता. मैंने बोला मत दो सनातन धर्म को गाली, मत करो ओबीसी.
लेकिन तहसीन पूनावाला, I want to ask you, आपने मेरे से बेट लगाई थी.
मैं हार गया.
130 मध्य प्रदेश में. आशुतोष जी, आप हंस रहे हैं. बेट आपने भी लगाई थी चाय वाली. आपने भी लगाई थी चाय वाली. आपने कहा था मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ कांग्रेस.
What Tehseen said, I distinctly remember. Navika ji, on this day I will be in your studio, and in Congress this will happen.
आशुतोष जी, आपने भी कहा, आप वो कर रहे हैं.
Ashutosh is not saying.
I have always said edge. I never said somebody is going to win, somebody is going to win.
Edge का हो गया hedge.
Ashutosh, you might try and find refuge, but there is no saving you from Sanju Verma today.
Of course.
Today, Sanju Verma will have you for lunch.
One second, he's trying to find refuge. He called, no, one second. Don't, I admit on camera, he called me up. He said, Madhya Pradesh में क्या हो रहा है? I said, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है, हम हार रहे हैं. He said, ठीक है.
Okay.
He called me on.
All right, I'm asking you to maintain some calm in the studios because we are being joined by Kiran Kumar Reddy, Vice President of the Telangana Pradesh Congress Committee. Also joining us is Ravula Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson of the BRS. Congratulations to you, Mr. Kiran Kumar Reddy. The Congress seems to have pulled it off in Telangana. What would you assign this victory to? Is it a vote against the BRS, or is this a positive vote for the Congress party?
Congress 6 guarantees which Sonia Gandhi declared in Hyderabad, and these 6 guarantees have been gone to door by our PCC president's successful campaign across the state, and people of Telangana has voted for the promise made by Sonia Gandhi ji, because you all know that Sonia Gandhi ji is the one who has promised Telangana statehood in 2007 and delivered in 2013. But the Telangana people have given the mandate that time to KCR, thinking that he will be successful because he has done the agitation. They have given him power twice. In 2014 manifesto and 2018 manifesto, he hasn't fulfilled any of his promises. And people of Telangana at the same time have understood that there is no guarantee that he will do anything. But Congress, which was successfully given 5 guarantees in the neighboring state Karnataka, have implemented in the first cabinet meeting itself, which made Telangana people to think that, Congress delivers when it promises, and that's the reason why people of Telangana have given mandate. Now, this is not a mandate, this is a full-fledged wave that we thought that we will come into power, but we are expecting more than 75 now. There are some trending seats now. So this is an absolute majority, and we are looking forward for a successful.
Let me get in Ravula Sridhar Reddy. Ravula Sridhar Reddy, 70 for the Congress, 38 for you. Third time around, your gun which was being loaded with bullets, you ran out of bullets, sir?
Not at all, Navika. We still have many rounds to go. We are at 5th round now, more or less in every constituency. And almost every lead here and there, hovering around 1,000, 2,000 or so. And I am confident. See, Kiran is saying that it's a wave. If it is a wave, we would not have been there around 40, 45 now. And, if you look at the Andhra Pradesh results in the past elections, that's called wave. Here, definitely, yes, in most of the constituencies where we are losing today, it's because the local MLAs could not connect properly to the people of that constituency, could not be failed in communicating what we have done in the past 9.5 years.
Well, Mr. Revant Reddy has been talking about a 2 BHK in the jail. I want to ask you, are you expecting vendetta politics to begin right away in Telangana?
See, we are very confident that we will get the right number as the day goes forward, number one. Number two,
optimism is good, Mr. Reddy, but sometimes you have to read the writing on the wall, and the writing is on the wall. Let me go across to Anil Antony joining me on the broadcast, also joining me Harshvardhan Tripathi. Anil Antony, 3-1. And the BJP looks like, it swept everything in the Hindi heartland. And the only thing I can say as far as the South is concerned, angur khatte hain.
Absolutely not. We are very happy with our performance. Everything is as well as we expected. 3 of the states we are comfortably winning. Telangana also, after this election, the Bharatiya Janata Party has positioned ourselves as a very legit, strong political force in the state. Last time we only had 7% votes and 1 seat. Now we are touching double digits. We are tremendously improved in the south also. Across the south, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, everywhere we are improving. We are steadily rising. And in our strong forts, we have done even better than last time. Madhya Pradesh is one of our biggest wins ever. So the party is, we are already the world's largest party. We comfortably won 2014 and 19 elections, and at this moment we are looking stronger than any time in the past under the leadership of our Prime Minister.
Well, Asif Sohail, अगर हैदराबाद एरिया में AIMIM को इतनी दिक्कत आ रही है, तो बाकी देश का क्या होगा?
ये तो पब्लिक का सोच है, पब्लिक का मैंडेट है, ठीक है। इलेक्शन में नीचे ऊपर होता है, देखते हैं। अभी तो रिजल्ट पूरे आने दीजिए। अभी मैं आपको यही बता दे रहा हूँ कि कांग्रेस पावर में आएगी तो इसके पीछे माइनॉरिटी वोट का बहुत बड़ा रोल रहेगा। और जो ग्रासरूट वर्कर्स है, कांग्रेस के जो लीडर्स है, किरण जो बैठे हैं यहाँ पे, ऐसे लोगों ने बहुत हार्डवर्क किया है कि पार्टी को वापस ठहराने के लिए, जो पिछले 10 साल से चले गई थी। ये लोग ने बहुत मेहनत की है। देखिए, जो
तो ओवैसी जी जो मामू के लिए वोट मांग रहे थे, वो ओवैसी जी की तो कोई सुन नहीं रहा ना माइनॉरिटी में।
नहीं, क्यों नहीं सुन रहा है? देखिए मैडम, बराबर सुन रहा है। उनके जो क्षेत्र में उनका जो वोट बैंक था, वो वोट बैंक आया है, थोड़ा प्लस और माइनस है, ठीक है। देखिए, जो फ्लॉज है, जो ड्रॉबैक है, उसको ओवरकम करना होगा। हर चुनाव में देखिए एक चीज सीखने को मिलती है, जिससे आप ये चीज नहीं बता सकते हो कि सारी आवाम उनके खिलाफ हो जाएगी MIM की। ये नहीं होगा। देखिए, उनके नहीं, ये नीचे के जो लोग हैं उनके तरफ से जो दिक्कतें आई हैं लोकल लीडर्स के तरफ से, तो हर पार्टी के अंदर होता है। देखिए, अब जैसा कि बीजेपी का एक जो बड़ा दावा था, वो तो पूरे कोई वॉश आउट हो गई है तेलंगाना से। देखिए, जो एक हिंदुस्तान
बीजेपी की आपसे ज्यादा सीटें हैं, आप उनको वॉश आउट कह रहे हैं। गोइंग अक्रॉस टू आवर रिपोर्टर पिंकी राजपूत जॉइनिंग मी फ्रॉम द कांग्रेस हेडक्वार्टर्स इन तेलंगाना वेयर सेलिब्रेशंस आर ऑन। पिंकी, what is going on there, and how many claimants for the chief minister's position, or is it now very clear that it will be Revant Reddy? What are you hearing? But yes, celebrations are on. The only place across India where celebrations are on, and at least it's brought a smile to your face, Tehseen Poonawalla. You were really looking down and out. But Acharya Pramod Krishnam also joining, as is Ram Pratap ji, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Acharya ji, आपने अभी कुछ ही देर पहले ट्वीट किया है कि सनातन का श्राप लगा। क्या आप सचमुच समझ रहे हैं कि ये सनातन के कारण हिंदी हार्टलैंड में कांग्रेस वॉश आउट हो गई है या कुछ मदद मिली है आपके दोस्तों अरविंद केजरीवाल और अखिलेश यादव जी से भी?
नाविका जी, पहली बात तो ये है कि हमारी पार्टी की जो हार हो रही है उसके जो परिणाम नज़र आ रहे हैं उससे बहुत ही मुझे सदमा है और मैं सदमे में हूँ। और हम लोग उम्मीद किए बैठे थे कि हम लोग जीतेंगे, लेकिन क्योंकि सच को स्वीकार करना चाहिए और सत्य को स्वीकार करते हुए मैं ये बात स्पष्ट रूप से कहना चाहता हूँ कि भारत की आत्मा है सनातन। सनातन के बिना भारत की कल्पना भी नहीं की जा सकती है और ना भारत के लोकतंत्र की कल्पना की जा सकती है। लेकिन सनातन का विरोध करने वाले, सनातन को मिटाने की घोषणा करने वाले, रोज़ सनातन को गाली देने वाले, रोज़ हिंदू धर्म को गाली देने वाले, हिंदुओं की आस्था पर कुठाराघात करने वाले लोगों के साथ अगर कांग्रेस खड़ी होती है तो उसका परिणाम यही होना था।
You know, we're just getting images now. Those images, our viewers must be wondering. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, there with a lady. She was one of the beneficiaries of Ladli Behna. She works in the Chief Minister's office. So, and emotional, she apparently works as a gardener, and she came with a single flower for the Chief Minister. I just want to give out a few of the numbers now. Jeetu Patwari in Madhya Pradesh is trailing by 18,702 votes. So the margins
Rahul Gandhi ji के बहुत करीबी माने जाते हैं जीतू।
Margins. But he was in Delhi. He was a chief ministerial. He thought he was the chief ministerial candidate.
That is wonderful. The margins. Look at the kind of margins. Just take a look at some of the numbers that we are getting in.
Also in the Congress, as far as Jeetu Patwari and Kamal Nath are concerned. So there were these fissures within the party there also. So it's possible that some of the cadres has worked against Jeetu Patwari here.
And it's telling in the numbers. You know, you've got Manik Singh of the BJP, who is ahead by 27,461 votes. Then again, you have got Madhu Verma of the BJP. Right now, she is at 55,673. In Indore, you've got in the Rao Vidhan Sabha, the BJP is ahead. So these are the kind of numbers that we are getting. Right now, what we are getting to know, as for Revant Reddy, he is ahead of both of his seats. Kodangal and Kamareddy, he has got the leads over there. So interesting, but for you, for the BRS, Mr. Rao, this is not very good good news. That you've got the Chief Minister actually trailing in Kamareddy as well.
Audio nahi aa raha.
I don't know if he can hear me.
Sridhar Reddy ji.
Mr. Reddy.
Okay, seem to have a problem with...
Okay. From Telangana. In fact, Jay and I were just going very quickly through two of these numbers. And we just want to show these numbers across because this really shows the story of what's happening there in Telangana, where the BRS's gains are 0 in lower. Congress has gained a whopping 24, taking the number to 32. So these changes, all these purple to greens, all the purple to greens are essentially what has gone into Congress's kitty lower.
Fan design is what has gone from the
Greater Hyderabad tells a very interesting story because these three that have been lost by MIM have gone directly to the BJP. Congress gaining 10, BRS gaining only 3, and therefore the numbers that you see over here are pretty much a mixed bag in the Greater Hyderabad region.
And the Hindu vote has gone to the BJP because the Muslim vote's gone to the Congress, and therefore MIM.
But there's a lot of splitting that's happened. It's not a direct change because there's a lot of fights. There is the MIM, there is BJP, there's Congress, and there's BRS. So it's a three-way battle in several seats, and that's what's caused a lot of this confusion and fluctuating vote. Upper Telangana is a very, very interesting story as well.
Just a few of the strongholds retained by BRS.
Yes.
The rest are all gains by the Congress and even small gains by the BJP. BJP, incidentally, in places like Adilabad, which are actually the foundation of the Telangana movement.
And incidentally, what's interesting is 5+3. This is perhaps the BJP's best ever performance in Telangana.
Absolutely.
Though Raja Singh, who was the only MLA in the last assembly, appears to be trailing at this point of time.
Surprised if there is now, after these results, if there is some kind of a change in the BRS's outlook, it is possible that K. Kavita turns around and says that KTR's policies have misguided KCR, and hence she takes a stronger point. And doesn't matter, I'm talking about what, because she has been soft towards the BJP as compared to KTR, who even to an interview to Padmaja, he was like, kutte ne nahi kaata ki main BJP ke saath jaunga. You know, he was that aggressive in his outlook, whereas she had taken a softer outlook. So when 2024 is to be seen, maybe BRS rethinks about how they are going to be strategizing, going with the India alliance, going with the fourth front, or going with the BJP and NDA.
Well, let me just give you the headlines at this moment. The headlines clearly are that this is a BJP sweep completely in the Hindi heartland, winning Madhya Pradesh by a margin that nobody expected, and this is when they've been in power for 19 years. They have clocked 157 seats versus 70 of the Congress. Less than half is where the Congress party is. This is when they expected to win, and they were called by all polls, opinion polls, as leading and having the edge till towards the end. But Congress literally losing the plot in Madhya Pradesh. In Rajasthan, the BJP in safe zone, 113, and clearly no resort politics expected there. But the biggest statement that the BJP is making is really in Chhattisgarh, 54 to the BJP versus 34 to the Congress party, and that is really rewriting history.
And more points in Chhattisgarh, Navika. After formation of the state of Chhattisgarh, this is the highest ever tally of the BJP. 54 aaya hi nahi.
Exactly. The last highest was 51, and this time it's 54. And in Telangana, the Congress party at 71, the BRS at 37. But if you look at it, the takeaways will really be that the day goes to the BJP. It's a saffron sweep across the Hindi heartland. And anybody who thought that, Congress party, the India alliance had a chance really to put a foothold there, well, they'll have to go back to the drawing board. And this is actually 2018, all three states lost. In 2023, you come back with 3 victories. 2 of them are surprise victories, even by pollster standards. And that really shows that ek akela sab pe bhari, because that's what Narendra Modi is, and it is the Modi magic, Modi popularity all the way. It is also a referendum on caste politics, caste census that Rahul Gandhi has been talking about. It is a referendum, or it is also being called as Rahul Gandhi's success after Bharat Jodo. Has it really translated in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan? It clearly has not. It is also the disconnect between the high command and the chief ministerial candidates like Ashok Gehlot and Kamal Nath. Not there at all. And then you will have to also look at the fact that the micro level planning, the strategy that Amit Shah put on the ground, targeting seats of ministers, targeting areas, putting people, union ministers being sent, all of that really taking the wind out of the sails of the Congress party. And this is called proactive, aggressive strategy by the BJP. And the Congress didn't have a chance in hell, Tehseen Poonawalla. That's what it turns out to be.
I think that the Congress should now realize, and I think there's some positive the Congress can take from the Hindi heartland defeat, if you allow me. In 2003, the BJP swept the Hindi heartland, but the Congress won Andhra Pradesh, and then the Congress went on to win the Lok Sabha elections. Similarly, in 2018, the Congress won the Hindi heartland, but BJP won. So now, look, I'm just being a fool in paradise. I agree with you, and I want to see the Congress win, but the Congress needs to pause and listen to people like Acharya ji, listen to people who are saying, stop being so woke and so leftist.
Stop Panoti and stop Sanatan bashing, and stop the caste census, which is really not.
May work in UP, Bihar. So sorry.
It's a mix of 3 or 4 things. First of all, I think it's a terrible day for tourism industry. I don't know what's going on. These, the election should be closely fought. I mean, this is like a decisive thing. It's bad for our economy. We can't have this thing.
All rules have to be released.
But, I really respect and admire Pramod ji. And I think the only time someone can be fearless and speak his or her mind in Congress is either if you're an Acharya or you're about to be raided by the ED or CBI. But what Acharya ji has said resonates very well with a lot of other people. For example, okay, let me take example of Tehseen and Acharya ji. They have said two things. Consistently, they have said, do not talk ill of Sanatan Dharma. Do not go for the caste census. Why are they in the studio, Navika? They should be in the inner ring of Rahul Gandhi. The people who are in the inner ring of Rahul Gandhi are not in the studio. That's the problem.
पर आचार्य जी, आप अकेले हैं जो हमसे बात करते हैं, जो बॉयकॉटेड जर्नलिस्ट हैं. आप अभी wannabe कांग्रेसमैन हो, आप अभी हुए नहीं हो. हाँ, तो आचार्य जी हमसे बात करते हैं, इसलिए शायद राहुल गांधी उनकी बात नहीं सुनते. आचार्य जी, ये स्टूडियो से पुकार आ रही है, आप इस पर क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए नाविका जी, ये भाग्य की विडंबना है, खासतौर से कांग्रेस के भाग्य की विडंबना है कि वो कांग्रेस जो महात्मा गांधी के रास्ते पे चलने वाली कांग्रेस थी, कुछ लोग उसे मार्क्स के रास्ते पे ले जाना चाहते हैं और ले गए. ये जो आज के परिणाम है, ये कांग्रेस की हार नहीं है, ये तो वामपंथ की हार है. कुछ लोग कांग्रेस पार्टी के अंदर ऐसी कोठरी है जो पिछले 8, 10, 12 सालों से फैसले लेती है कि वो कांग्रेस के प्रेसिडेंट बदल देती है, लेकिन कोठरी वही रहती है. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, नाविका जी, ये फैसले ही गलत लिए जा रहे हैं. अब मुझे आप बताइए, हमें लड़ना है भाजपा से, हम लड़ते हैं एंकर से. हमें लड़ना है भाजपा से, हम लड़ते हैं वंदे मातरम से. हमें लड़ना है भाजपा से, हम लड़ते हैं भारत माता की जैसे. अब ये जो एंकर्स के बैन करने का जो फैसला था, इसका कोई लॉजिक है, इसका कोई तुक है कि हमें भाजपा से लड़ना है, लेकिन हम किससे लड़ रहे हैं? कुछ पत्रकारों से. अरे भाई, पत्रकारों की स्वतंत्रता और हम जिस डेमोक्रेसी की बात कर रहे हैं, हम डेमोक्रेसी के चौथे स्तंभ को बैन कर रहे हैं. ये कितना गलत फैसला था. मैं इसके खिलाफ था, मैंने इसके खिलाफ आवाज़ उठाई. जब मैंने इसके खिलाफ आवाज़ उठाई तो जिन लोगों ने ये फैसला कराया था, वो सब लोग कहने लगे, आचार्य प्रमोद कृष्णम तो बीजेपी में जा रहे हैं. क्या सच बोलना भाजपा में जाना है? क्या कांग्रेस में रहने का मतलब ये है कि जो सनातन को गाली दे रहे हैं, हम कान बंद करके उन्हें सुने जाएं? देखिए, भारत की कल्पना नहीं की जा सकती है सनातन के बिना, नाविका जी. और कांग्रेस पार्टी सनातन के विरोधियों के साथ खड़ी है. ये तो सोचना भी पाप है. ए.के. एंटोनी तो आचार्य प्रमोद कृष्णम नहीं है. ए.के. एंटोनी साहब ने एक रिपोर्ट दी थी. उन्होंने कहा था कि कांग्रेस की छवि हिंदू विरोधी बनती जा रही है. उस पर आज तक कोई फैसला नहीं लिया गया. और बड़ी मजेदार बात है कि जो लोग कभी चुनाव ना जीते, ना जीतने की उम्मीद, ना चुनाव लड़ना चाहते हैं, वो कांग्रेस में सारे फैसले करते हैं. वो बताते हैं कि मोदी कैसे हारेंगे, वो बताते हैं कांग्रेस में कौन चुनाव जीतेगा. तो ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं, ये मिलकर के, और मुझे एक बात और कहते हुए मुझे कोई झिझक नहीं है, ना मुझे कोई डर है कि इस देश ने कभी जातिवाद की राजनीति को एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया. अगर जातिवाद की राजनीति को एक्सेप्ट करता ये देश, तो सबसे बड़ा नेता विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह को मानता. विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह जब मंडल लाए थे तो देश में जातिवाद का एक जहर फैल गया था, आग लग गई थी. आज विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह की समाधि कहाँ है, किसी को नहीं पता. अगर जातिवाद की राजनीति को ये देश की जनता पसंद करती तो विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह आइकॉन होते इस देश के. सुनिए, बस 10 सेकंड और दीजिएगा. देश की जनता में ये मैसेज गया कि हिंदू धर्म को डिवाइड करने के लिए, हिंदू धर्म को स्प्लिट करने के लिए, हिंदू धर्म के खंड खंड करने के लिए हम जातिवाद की राजनीति पर उतर आए. जबकि राजीव गांधी इस देश के बहुत बड़े नेता थे. राजीव गांधी जी का 6 सितंबर 1990 का पार्लियामेंट में भाषण सुनिए. उन्होंने कहा था कि हम कभी जातिवाद की राजनीति नहीं करते, हम ना करेंगे. तो कांग्रेस पार्टी राजीव गांधी के रास्ते से विमुख हो गई. कांग्रेस पार्टी महात्मा गांधी के रास्ते से विमुख हो गई. महात्मा गांधी की हर सभा की शुरुआत होती थी रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. तो जो कांग्रेस महात्मा गांधी के रास्ते पे चल के यहां तक आई, उस कांग्रेस को कुछ लोग वामपंथ और मार्क्स के रास्ते पे ले जा रहे हैं, उसका ये परिणाम है.
And the ironic thing is that Acharya ji is talking about the DMK and the attack on Sanatan. And ironically, the VP Singh that he's talking about, his statue was recently unveiled in Tamil Nadu on Udayanidhi Stalin's birthday in the presence of Akhilesh Yadav. So here is the coming together of two pet bugbears of people within the Congress. Prahlad Joshi, Union Minister, is through with us now. Mr. Joshi, thanks very much for speaking to us here on Times Now. Your first reaction to the results so far, as of today, 3 out of 4.
Naturally, I am very happy, and I am more happy about Rajasthan because I was in charge there. And people have totally rejected the Congress party. Congress party is always, people now, once again, people are convinced that Congress is for the bogus guarantee. Whatever guarantee they had promised in Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka, that people are able to understand that these people will give the bogus guarantee, come to power, then they start the appeasement, lawlessness. There is no law, there is no order. This situation was there in Rajasthan since I was there in more than 3-4 months in Rajasthan. I have personally witnessed it, and there was no safety to the woman, all these things. And apart from that, whatever the Modi ji has promised, guarantee पूरा होने का guarantee, जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा, उसको लोग राजस्थान के जनता बहुत अच्छी तरीके से स्वीकारा है. और जहाँ तक मेरा असेसमेंट है, मैं पहले भी बताया था, will minimum cross 124, 125. This is minimum figure, and we will form a stable and able government in Rajasthan.
प्रहलाद जोशी जी, नाविका बोल रही हूँ और मैं पूछना चाह रही हूँ, आचार्य प्रमोद कृष्णम ने कहा कि ये सनातन का श्राप लगा है कांग्रेस पार्टी को. आप इससे सहमत हैं?
सनातन वॉज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द इश्यूज, बट ऐसे कांग्रेस को शाप लगा है जो प्रमोद जी बोल रहे हैं, ऐसे तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ही एक शापग्रस्त पार्टी है. क्योंकि
जी,
हेलो
जी जी, आपकी आवाज आ रही है.
हेलो हेलो
जी, आपकी आवाज.
कांग्रेस पार्टी का जो नेता है, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का नेता का जो आपने बयान वगैरह सुने होंगे, जो भी वो प्रधानमंत्री जी को कहा था, पनौती, ये सब जो अपशब्द बोले थे, असभ्य भाषा प्रयोग किए थे, जनता इसके लिए भी उत्तर दिया है. और सनातन भी उसमें एक इशू है ही है, क्योंकि सनातन के बारे में जब उदयनिधि स्टालिन ने बोला, तब खरगे जी भी उसका खंडन नहीं किया, कोई भी इसका खंडन नहीं किया. और ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का जो प्रमुख नेता है प्रियंका खरगे सन हु इज मिनिस्टर, ही सपोर्टेड दैट स्टेटमेंट. सो दिस इज एडेड to the insult to the injury to the people of the people who believe in Sanatan Dharma. And apart from that, there are so many issues, and more than positive vote also. मोदी जी का जो सेंट्रल में गवर्नमेंट देखा है 10 बरस, और लोगों को लगा राज्य में भी डबल इंजन सरकार है, तो मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में बहुत बढ़िया काम हो सकता है.
I request you to be with us because Renuka Chaudhary, former Union Minister, also joining this broadcast. And Renuka Chaudhary, congratulations for the Congress's performance in Telangana. But what do you think is the reason for the rout of the Congress in the Hindi heartland? Many are saying your caste card hasn't worked, your religion card hasn't worked. Also, the fact that Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra hasn't really worked in the Hindi heartland is something that the Congress will have to worry about.
Look, we have to introspect, there's no doubt. This has come as a bitter shock for all of us, undoubtedly. But I was just listening to the gentleman who was speaking, and he's talking about Sanatan Dharma. I want to tell you, I am born into the Sanatan Dharma. They don't have a patent on Sanatan Dharma. And to question our credentials in the Sanatan Dharma and say that we didn't condemn what Tamil Nadu said or somebody else said only shows their short vision, their tunnel vision.
Well,
and that's why they can't.
It's not only him. Acharya Pramod Krishnam of the Congress is also saying the same thing. Ma'am, it's not just the BJP. Acharya Pramod Krishnam of the Congress party is also saying the same thing. You call the Prime Minister Panoti, you go for the caste card, you abuse Sanatan Dharma. You know, the results are in front of you.
Did you believe that Modi ji has spoken with lot of sabyata about all of us women? Do you believe that Modi ji's speeches are all full of sabyata? What he has said in parliament against us women, what he has said in the streets about us. That is not sabyata either. And then what they come and do and talk in the south. So I think let's not enter that. That's a whole different show, which I'll come on to if you want to argue about it. But these are not the issues. The issues, the crux of it all is that we have to get down on the ground and we have to find out what happened. I think you're prematurely attributing this to Sanatan Dharma and something else. Please don't. As it is, we put Purushottam Ram into the ballot box. Kindly leave the rest of our Sanatan Dharma out of it.
Renukaji, do you think
really
that now the Congress party
has the patent and they have the cheek to talk about it, and none of us are qualified to talk about the Sanatan Dharma other than them?
Okay, so if you think there's a clear regional divide now where the BJP has gained complete dominance in the north, in states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, you name it, and the Congress is trying to strike a revival, beginning with Karnataka and now going into Telangana. Is that a clear divide now? Congress in south, BJP complete dominance in north.
Well, it looks like that. Just now it looks like that. Prematurely it looks like that. But it doesn't remain like that. The South, the BJP doesn't come into cognition is because they have no understanding of what the Southern sensibility is. They don't even want to understand what the South is about. They've just painted us and labelled us all as South Madrasi without even realizing that there are nuances, there are character differences between state to state in the south.
Okay, there are a lot of people reacting to what you're saying, ma'am. A lot of people. Okay, there is a Tamil gentleman here who has strong objections to what you're saying, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Okay,
I think it's completely it's not right on former MP and former Union Minister Mrs. Renuka Chaudhary to say that BJP considers all Tamilian Madrasis and all. It's not that. BJP had ruled Karnataka twice, and more importantly, the anti-incumbency against BRS was sown by BJP. GHMC elections, by-elections, everything. Something happened where you could harvest on all the efforts put by BJP.
Okay, let her respond. Yes. Ms. Renuka Chaudhary.
Yeah, tell me.
The question is, see, you're saying that the BJP is typecasting everyone as Madrasis. I remember that the Prime Minister, when he has any time that he has gone to Chennai or to any part of Tamil Nadu, he's worn a veshti. In fact, one time he even said, I regret that I cannot speak pure Tamil. Otherwise, I would have loved to converse with people in Tamil. Do you think it's fair to say that he is denigrating people as Madrasis?
For knowing what South India is about.
Kashi Tamil Sangamam.
Exactly the point.
Gujarat Tamil Sangamam.
That is the point. You just change your costume and you become the authority on Southern sensibility. You change your costume and say, oh, I couldn't speak Tamil. I'll show you 10 lakh people who can't speak Hindi.
You
had a Tamil Nadu, I remember the anti-Hindi agitation. So, I mean, wearing a dress and saying how sad I can't speak Tamil, I feel very bad, doesn't give you any
Man, you are such a tall leader yourself of the Congress. Anil Antony of the BJP now. His father, one of the tallest leaders of your party, Anil Antony, is now in the BJP. He's still in Kerala. And I don't know, do you feel, Anil Antony, like you're being derided by your party? What would you say to Renukaji?
Comments, Renukaji's comments I heard. These kind of comments of how, we do seriously think that the opposition is failing to understand how India is moving forward and how BJP is evolving. You tried to restrict us by saying that, oh, we are only a party in the north, etc. But you look at entire India. Across North India, we are dominant. Across West India, from Gujarat to Goa to Maharashtra, again, we are dominant. You look at the northeastern regions, the eastern areas. Again, every 7 of 8 northeastern states, we are right now in government. In states like Assam, in states like West Bengal, in states like Orissa, we are a very potent political force. And then we are expanding our presence in the south. So right now, even when you say, okay, we north versus south divide, you are actually not seeing the big picture. You are looking at 5-6 southern states where in Karnataka, Bharatiya Janata Party is a very legit political force. In Kerala, our vote share used to be 4% in 2009. Now it is 13-14%. Last time in Telangana, it was 7% vote share, 1 seat.
Okay.
This time we are touching double digits. So our footprint, we are already the world's largest political party. Our footprint is increasing everywhere.
Okay, very quickly we'll go around the table. Dr. Ranganathan, then a final word from Renuka ji.
Places,
yes, Dr. Ranganathan.
I respect Renuka ji a lot, but I feel like laughing like her inside. Because the facts of the matter are that, like Jai Sai Deepak says, I am not a South Indian, I am an Indian from the South. I think let us get away from this north-south divide and analyze what are the reasons. And Renuka ji is castigating the BJP for bringing in Sanatan Dharma. I'm sorry, it is Tehseen and Acharya Pramod ji from the Congress.
Let Renuka ji respond, then I'll come back.
So when from the Congress they are saying Sanatan Dharma and trying to eradicate it, supporting those people were the reasons for this defeat, it's not the BJP that's saying it.
Renuka Chaudhary.
Listen, please do not trivialize this into Congress people sitting in other parties today who are talking about it with authority. It's not about that. It is about the lack of sensitivity towards a southern part of this country. You're as much an Indian as I am. In fact, I have grown up all over the country as a Fauji Beti, more than any one of you. So that's not the issue here. The issue here is today, geographically, it is a fact that the BJP could not enter the south no matter how much they tried.
Well, geographically, it's also a fact that the Congress is completely routed in the north. Routed from its bastions, from Bengal, from Uttar Pradesh, where you were in government. I think people from within your well-wishers also want to say something to you. Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala first, he's been waiting. Yes.
The BJP should also remember.
No, but I think she's still Renuka ji, I am a supporter of the Congress. I desperately want to see the Congress win in 2024. And I say this in very good faith. I have a lot of respect for you. You're a tall leader, having put all those caveats. Ma'am, if you're going to be this aggressive and arrogant on TV, people are not going to like it. I'm sorry I'm taking the bull by the horns. Please, ma'am, please. We must have humility in victory, and we must introspect why we lost in the Hindi heartland. It is time to introspect. If tall leaders like you come and talk this way, ma'am, we will not
win. What victory are we talking about? We won in Telangana.
Ma'am, we won in Telangana because of a lot of factors, primarily Mrs. Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo Yatra and Revant Reddy. Certainly arrogance was not a part of it, ma'am. I can guarantee you that the people of Telangana rejected arrogance. The one thing they rejected was KTR's arrogance. Let's not bring that arrogance in, ma'am.
All right, I think let's just put this matter to bed. Okay.
I just want to ask to my friend sitting here in the panel that what has been the reason that the BJP has not been able to make a breakthrough in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in Telangana, in Andhra Pradesh, except in Karnataka. So that has to be introspected, that has to be seen. What is the reason? Despite so massively, overwhelmingly dominating in North Indian politics.
You're 100% right, and which is why I started out by saying that this seems to be a clear divide now, where the north is going one way and the south is going another way. But I really must, bring in Subhash Sarkar as well, Union Minister, who is joining us. I want to take a quick look before that at the big numbers. Let's start with Madhya Pradesh, because we have focused on Telangana, we spoke of this north-south divide, etc., etc. But Madhya Pradesh is a wave that nobody saw coming. And now the BJP has gone past 150 mark. They are at 155. The Congress is at 72. The BSP is at 3. And really, nobody else is even in the fight over here. Can we also see the vote share? Is it possible to see the vote share as well? Because that would be interesting to see what kind of vote shares the BJP has got. Let me go across to Mr. Sarkar in the meantime. Mr. Sarkar, all right. So let's take a look at the other areas. This was Madhya Pradesh. Now let's take a look at Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, out of 199 seats, the BJP is a comfortable 108. The numbers have more or less settled, and it's a 69 for the Congress, BSP at 2, RLP at 2, and this has been what could be the downfall of the Congress. Others, yes. Yes, there were problems within the BJP. They had got rebels, but so did the Congress. Did the BJP manage its rebellion better than the Congress did? Jitendra Singh ji, who is MOS at the Centre, Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office. Thanks very much, sir, for speaking to us. You know, which state surprised you the most? I think most people were taken aback by the kind of numbers in Chhattisgarh. What about you? Were you? I know you will say I was expecting all states a win, but did you find some of the states a surprise?
See, now as far as Rajasthan is concerned, for example, we were already quite sure because to begin with, in the initial phases, there were certain apprehensions, but I myself was there in Rajasthan all this while, so we were quite confident that we were coming up very well. So also Madhya Pradesh. Chhattisgarh, we knew we would have our government, but yes, I agree. The tally has gone much higher, which means that there was a sense of support for Modi guarantee, which was not realized by the Congress party, and there was a huge amount of anti-incumbency as well. I think if you ask me surprise, I would rather put it the other way. Surprise for reasons very strange is Telangana. Though we knew we would not be forming a government, but we would be proving our following over there. Now we already 10 seats over there, and our vote share has increased. And if you recall the kind of rallies which were organized for Prime Minister Modi and the road shows by Prime Minister Modi, the kind of response that he received from the people of state, despite the constraints of language and all the other things, and the legacy also being of a not a very compatible nature as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, I think it's tremendous. We've come up there and made inroads in Telangana, and that is also, I think, also brings to evidence another fact, that Modi is one name, which I think, unlike most of the prime ministers in the past, which unites India in a single chord: north, south, east, west, northeast, and regardless of caste, creed, culture, or language. That is something that is a very pleasant surprise coming for Bharatiya Janata Party from Telangana.
Mr. Singh, I want to ask you, the BJP today is saying that in Telangana it's an anti-BRS vote and not so much a pro-Congress. Don't you think you're being uncharitable to the Congress, which has managed to bounce to around 70 seats? It came from nowhere 5 years ago, 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, nobody had given them a fighting chance. They have bounced to over 70 seats. Why do you say this is not pro-Congress?
No, I think this precisely is the reason. The kind of, if they have bounced back, maybe they have not bounced back on their own, they have been pushed to be bounced back. And there was a huge amount of anti-incumbency in Telangana, which was very, very apparent, very visible. Even friends like you had been mentioning it from time to time, and it was very much there in Telangana. So the benefit, of course, had to be sought by one of the other parties. The alternative has emerged in the form of Congress. Though we were there in the running, we have done very well. But as I said, we have some legacy issues. In spite of that, we have done tremendously well, and that has also given a kind of confidence that we have the capacity to make inroads into that state, or in fact all over South. And the manner in which the Prime Minister Modi has been received over there is much the same as in any other part of the country, even in the central India states.
I want to ask
that, I think, is a huge difference about how Bharatiya Janata Party.
Yeah, I want to ask you one final question, sir. You were in Rajasthan, you campaigned across Rajasthan. 3 main themes that we picked up from the BJP. Most people seem to be saying ये तो एक issueless election है, कोई एक चीज जो है बड़ा मुद्दा नहीं बना रही है BJP. You spoke of Lal Diary also, you spoke of महिलाओं के खिलाफ अत्याचार also. But 3 main things came across. One was appeasement or तुष्टीकरण, second was corruption, and the third was crimes against women. In your assessment, finally, which one stuck? Which one benefited you?
No, but to add to what you said, of course, all these 3 factors were there. But I think the other factor, which I was also mentioning in the course of the campaign over there, is that people in heart of hearts, without saying in so many words, were actually realizing the benefits of what we refer to as a double-engine Sarkar, often this phrase or this expression is, sometimes taken with a tongue in cheek, but actually it has a meaning. And when people in Rajasthan saw the difference in comparison to the neighboring states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, the manner in which the Modi scheme, whether it was the PM Swanidhi Yojana, whether it was the Ayushman, whether it was the Vishwakarma, all sorts of schemes, targeting such sections of society which had never been cared by the earlier governments, had been transformed and translated on the ground. But not so in Rajasthan. So people could realize that we have not received the kind of benefit which we could have received if we had a government which is compatible with the Modi government in the center. So that was a factor very hugely weighing on the mind of a common man. Because today is the age of Tark, Tathya and Tulna. So the young voters especially, he understands the facts and he has the capacity to draw the comparisons.
Okay, Mr. Jitendra Singh, thank you very much for speaking to us. Subhash Sarkar also joining us now, Union Minister. Thank you very much, sir. I think there are a lot of people here. They have questions for the BJP, for the people who are a part of the campaign. Let's go around the table. Yes, Jemruk.
We're talking of vote shares, right? Something very interesting had happened. During the exit polls and course of the opinion polls, the two states which are really thought to be clear about, Rajasthan and Telangana, they are the ones who were actually given the narrowest vote share differences. In Rajasthan, the difference between BJP and Congress is 2%. In Telangana, the difference between Congress and BRS is 2%. The states which are supposed to be uncallable, sort of difficult for pollsters, have actually given the clearest vote share differences. Chhattisgarh has 4%, which is the highest between the Congress and the BJP in any assembly election.
Which just goes to show that sometimes people and voters in this country just take you for a ride. They throw a surprise at you, which you are never...
Even in Madhya Pradesh, the vote share gap between the BJP and Congress is 8%. I mean, it doesn't seem something...
I think what has actually happened is that the voters have decided how to take pollsters for a ride. They are like, hum vote kuch dalenge, aapko batayenge wo jo aapka man ho. But like Mr. Sarkar is there, questions for Mr. Sarkar, I want to start by asking you, sir. Your MOS education, there were a lot of issues, especially on the education front, which were especially in places like Rajasthan. You had those issues in Telangana. First up, tell us your impression of the results that we have seen today.
Yes. The people of these three states have given a clear mandate that this government, when in the double-engine government, performs well. Whenever they have observed the neighboring states like Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and their development and all implementation of the central government schemes have been done very well. And people have observed how fine, without any corruption, the central government is running. The people have given a clear mandate under the leadership of Narendra Modi, led BJP.
The great thing now is, Smita, that there are the era of hung assemblies, thankfully, is behind us. What would you say to Mr. Sarkar? Questions?
I'm quite surprised, that in all four states, one had thought that one or two states, but in all four states, it's been a clear mandate, and that mandate has been a silent vote, which is why I think it is not just the pollsters, it's also the media which was reporting out there didn't really gauge that there was
barring Telangana, where there was very palpable anger against the BRS.
It's a three-way, palpable anger maybe, but it was a three-way contest, which is very hard to predict. But even that palpable anger, BJP probably misled. That's why 6 months back, they bazi chhod gaye. Otherwise, they were giving a good fight. So they probably did not see that the anger against BRS was strong enough for them to occupy that vacuum. And Congress moved in.
That is exactly where the hope is for 2024 for the BJP.
They are always looking for a master stroke, even if they are not getting...
Last time they jumped from 7 to 19 Assembly to Lok Sabha. Now if they jump from 14 to 24, 25, they're easily looking at 5 Lok Sabha seats.
So, Mr. Sarkar, is there a little bit of, jisko kehte hain glani Hindi mein, that, we wish we had fought harder in Telangana also. Right now you're showing about 8 to 9 seats. This 9 could have been 19.
But at the same time, BJP have got also good share of vote. BJP have not owned the good number of seats in Telangana, but they have also increased the share of vote. And at the same time, BJP have done very well in 3 major states. This is very important, as this election can be told as semi-final of the 2024. And people of India have given a stamp on double engine government.
All right, you're calling
all
it the semi-final. Mr. Subhash Sarkar, thank you very much for joining us. I find this quite interesting that now that the BJP has won 3 out of 4, it's a semi-final. In 2018, Ashutosh, it was not semi-final. It actually is very dangerous to call it semi-final also, because that's what Atalji thought it was. And he called for early elections, and look what happened in the final.
In 2003,
he was Prime Minister.
See, in 2013, BJP won all 3 states and also won the parliamentary elections. So we go back in 2004 and always say the BJP won all 3 states, but BJP lost in 2004. So there are all
permutations and combinations.
And combination is there.
It's the other logic.
From 13 onwards, it's the other logic.
The fact is, I think over the years, people have realized to make a distinction or demarcation between state elections and choosing for Modi. Let me say that.
On the same day, they voted for BJP in Lok Sabha, but in the same assembly constituency, they voted for BJP.
100% across the states that I will have travelled, people very clearly say, दिल्ली में केजरीवाल, वहां पे मोदी, इधर पे केसीआर, उधर पे वो, यहाँ पे राहुल गांधी, उधर पे वो, यहाँ पे असद भाई, एमपी के लिए Rahul Gandhi. So they are very clear in their heads who is going to be their choice in the Lok Sabha.
That's the maturity,
even while they are
of India. And added to it that the pollsters are not getting it right, so they're even now keeping their vote secret. Is that how you see the trend?
No, Badmaja, I think a point to make to Shane is that in Chhattisgarh, it was a silent vote means, most pollsters, one second, Jay. Most pollsters, when we ask the first question, who is forming the government? Baghel is forming the government. But when you stop at that, you will say that Congress is going to sweep the election. But when you dig deeper, are you satisfied with your MLA? What are the issues which you're facing? Are you going to vote for the same MLA? Now, when you go deeper, the results are astounding. And it's not the number of survey which you do, but it is how deep you're going in each question is going to make a difference in the surveys which are going to come.
Also, the rejection of the surveyor.
Not only that.
Vijay turned around and said, I don't believe that surveyor because his families are Sanghis. This is what happens. You know, when you start saying कि surveyor जो media वाला है वो संगी है, वो गोदी है, you don't want to face facts.
एक चीज, जो सर्वे कंपनी का ओनर है, वो किसी भी परिवार से हो, वो थोड़ी ना खुद ग्राउंड पे जाता है, वो तो बेचारे.
Let's not now start doing a post-mortem of the surveys and the exit polls.
When I wear the hat of a surveyor, I'm a surveyor.
Obviously.
When I'm a cephalogist, I'm a cephalogist.
You are
but
not
in the
going
studio,
to predict what the people say. I think just a second before Jay comes in on this, I want to just quickly take you through the numbers again. And it is at 1 o'clock that we are going to turn our focus again to Chhattisgarh. Because Chhattisgarh is also giving out some messages. The numbers, we will see deep down the seats that Madhav and Jay will take us through of Chhattisgarh, how the regions have voted. So Chhattisgarh and MP are, I think, the big story of the day, as well as Telangana. But the numbers as they stand right now, the first number that we have is from Chhattisgarh, where the BJP is a very clear in the lead over here. You are well past the halfway mark at 53. The Congress is at 36. And really, there is nobody else in the race. Increasingly, it's a bipolar contest. This is as far as Chhattisgarh is concerned. The next state that we are going to take a look at is Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, out of 230, where do all parties stand? The vote share here. Now, this is the interesting story. The vote share in Madhya Pradesh, BJP is at 47% and the Congress is at 40%. Madhya Pradesh last time around as well, the BJP was ahead in terms of votes, but only 1% vote difference. However, in terms of
latest update, this is about 8.5%, this difference.
But still, to say that, last time they were 1% ahead, they have actually gained on their vote share, not just on their seat share. So that is a big story for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. The other big story here is that 6%, almost 6.5% votes have gone to the others in Madhya Pradesh as well. This is how it has translated into seats. BJP a comfortable 162 and the Congress is at 66. Whoever takes, the post-mortem of this one will be a long one. It will be a very interesting one. who crafted this win in Madhya Pradesh that nobody was expecting. We are taking a very quick break at this point, but we'll be back on the other side with a closer look at the Chhattisgarh seats, perhaps some of the biggest upsets. You've got ministers, sitting ministers in the Bhupesh Baghel government who are trailing by wide margins, people who were known as almost, the lord of all that they survey, but not anymore. Quick break, back in a minute, don't go anywhere.
When journalism is led by integrity and when experience meets passion, there is no scope for half-truths. When the noise drowns out the truth and many lose sight of what is the real issue.
I ask the legitimate question and uncover the whole truth.
Don't tax the poor people who are using petrol, diesel to go to work or to send their children to school.
I give you the complete picture in black and white, not a colored opinion, facts that help you form your opinion.
The News Hour at 9. Weeknights at 9, only on Times Now.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
आपके ऊपर तो कई घोटालों के भी आजकल आरोप लग रहे हैं। देश में सिर्फ एक बात की चर्चा है कि क्या बीजेपी राहुल गांधी से डर गई।
She takes on the masters of Indian politics like no one else can.
विपक्ष कम से कम उत्तर प्रदेश में ये कह रहा है कि आप हवा बना रहे हैं, निवेश कोई आया ही नहीं इस राज्य में। राहुल गांधी का कहना है कि देश में लोकतंत्र मरता जा रहा है, खतरे में है।
Because she speaks for you the way no one else can.
What about the charges against the government that this is a favored company by the government? How do you look at India on the world map of countries to watch out?
Because your voice must be heard, your questions answered, above all else. Frankly Speaking with Navika Kumar.
Can I have your attention please? क्या आप दिन की सही शुरुआत ढूंढ रहे हैं? I believe in an action-packed, fast-paced, agenda-setting start to the day. खबर सिर्फ दिखाना नहीं, असर होना भी जरूरी है. I'm Amita Badwa. I'm Pratibha. मैं हूँ शिखा मल्होत्रा and you're watching.
When journalism is led by integrity and when experience meets passion, there is no scope for half-truths. When the noise drowns out the truth and many lose sight of what is the real issue.
I ask the legitimate question and uncover the whole truth.
Don't tax the poor people who are using petrol, diesel to go to work or to send their children to school.
I give you the complete picture in black and white, not a colored opinion, facts that help you form your opinion.
The News Hour at 9. Weeknights at 9, only on Times Now.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
आपके ऊपर तो कई घोटालों के भी आजकल आरोप लग रहे हैं। देश में सिर्फ एक बात की चर्चा है कि क्या बीजेपी राहुल गांधी से डर गई।
She takes on the masters of Indian politics like no one else can.
विपक्ष कम से कम उत्तर प्रदेश में ये कह रहा है कि आप हवा बना रहे हैं, निवेश कोई आया ही नहीं इस राज्य में। राहुल गांधी का कहना है कि देश
Hello and welcome. You're watching Results Day Live on Times Now, India's election news headquarters. And what a day it has been, has thrown many people a complete googly. States like Telangana, like Rajasthan, even Madhya Pradesh, the difference between the BJP and the Congress in their tally, and of course Chhattisgarh, which nobody saw that wave coming, and that's the focus of our show right now. How do you decode the results of Chhattisgarh? Let's take a look first at the big numbers from the state, where the BJP is at 52, the Congress is at 38, and there is no one else really in the game
and
at all.
This number is fluctuating between 52 and 55. It's higher than the previous high of 51 of the BJP.
So it's not going down, it's only going up.
It's only going up.
Let's take a look at the vote share, because that is going to be the big story for the next few months as well. What is the vote share?
The vote share now, we are talking of, okay, between as per the EC site, this vote share is stabilizing at 41.95, and as per the EC, this vote share is stabilizing at 46.2,
so just to
which
put
is
things
a
in
4.2%
perspective,
difference.
just a second. So let's just put things in perspective. Take a look at where things were in 2018. The BJP was at 32%. Historically, the difference between the two main parties used to be about 2% in this state. Then in 2018, it was a massive sweep. After 15 years in government, the BJP was swept out. They were at 33% actually, and the Congress was at 43, which means the difference was 10%. Cut to 2023, where from 32%, the BJP has gained
to 47. Even if we take EC's number 46, it's a huge 13% swing in favor of the BJP.
13% swing, and the gap now has turned reverse. From 10% BJP lagging behind the Congress, they are now 6%.
4% ahead of the Congress.
According to this data, it is 6% ahead of the Congress. One thing I want to also point out is that the other parties, which had a 20% vote share last time, are increasingly being relegated. This, remember, is the state where many tribal parties, you also have a Christian party, Isa party, if I'm not mistaken, which has been floated. So the Christians
and
are
there
putting
was one Hamar Raj party, which is again a group of the tribals.
Which is tribals.
Yes.
So you have Hamar Raj party of the tribals. You have got the Janta Congress of Ajit Jogi, and then you have got one party where only Christians have been fielded, and yet
that's
their
been
vote
the
share
real
has
X factor.
reduced.
The Janta Congress of the Jogi is the real X factor. It's almost vanished, and most of it seems to have gone here.
So what are the takeaways? Let's take a look at the big takeaways of this Chhattisgarh result. The number one issue which is clear is that the BJP has a clear lead in tribal areas.
Absolutely.
There is a concerted push by the party. Let's go quickly through the takeaways, because then we want to take a look at the seats. Can we be a little quicker, please? The Congress mining in tribal areas has backfired for them.
Absolutely.
There is also a little bit of disenchantment among the Christian population. Perhaps Congress's soft Hindutva push not really working. The Congress's caste census pitch also hasn't had any resonance from the looks of it. It has slipped in the OBC belt of central region as well. Durg, Raipur, all these areas not really making much of a dent. Now it's over to Madhav and Jay for a closer look at the seats in Chhattisgarh and what they are telling us.
First, region-wise, we'll go to the spectrum in just a minute, but let's quickly go to this region-wise, because this is very interesting to see. What we have here is the central region. This is the central region we are talking about. Look at the gains. This number, of course, still fluctuating. BJP retaining 8, gaining 27. Congress gaining only 11, retaining 19. So look at this entire region. This is totally the number of gains that the BJP has made. And in terms of the entire chunk of this region, it's perhaps a maximum. So 35 is a number for the BJP over here. Congress at 30 behind BJP. So the gains made over here have made more than half of it. And this area was predominantly with the Congress earlier. Now it has switched sides to the BJP. Let's move to the northern part of the state. We were talking about how it has been completely painted saffron. That's pretty much what we're seeing here. Here, look at the gains. The Congress has gained 0, the BJP has gained 10 in the northern part of Chhattisgarh. That's the pattern in the tribal area as well that we were discussing, and a similar pattern in the tribal region of the southern part of the state, where in Bastar, again, we see 7 gains of the BJP, Congress gaining 0 over here, only managing to retain those 4. So that's the pattern over here, and the zebra crossing pattern that we're had seen here in the morning, Jay. Now that's solidifying into a different kind of a trend. Take us through where the strongholds are.
Now, this is it. On the left-hand side of your spectrum here, you have the BJP strongholds. I hope the camera is just coming in on top here. You have the BJP strongholds. You see, the BJP is actually retaining most. There are some breaches in between. There is a couple of greens in between here, but the BJP is retaining the most. But go to the opposite side of the spectrum, the right-hand side, which was supposed to be Congress territory. And this is a strategy Padmaja and Navika ma'am have been referring to throughout the morning. The BJP strategy of actually hitting the Congress fortress. This entire light and dark green is a Congress fortress. And you see what's happened. The number of saffrons in between. There's also a GJP in between. So clearly the strategy Padmaja has been take the battle to the enemy camp.
So the saffron bars over here, as far as the Congress, all right, we'll have to pick that up again. But as far as the Congress strongholds are concerned, the saffron bars are that much wider. Whereas when it comes to the BJP strongholds, the saffron is pretty much intact.
So
it has
let me
some
take
green,
this across
but
to the panel.
they're narrower.
Let me take this across to the panel, and then we will look at each and every seat and some of the major upsets that have happened in Chhattisgarh. Joining us, JVC Sriram continues. We will come to him in just a bit. We have Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist with us, along with Lokesh Jindal, political analyst. We also have Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Karan Verma, political analyst, Rekha Rao, member of the BRS, is also there with us, and as well as Mohammad Farhan, spokesperson of the AIMI. But we are focusing right now on Chhattisgarh. So let me first ask you, Shehzad Poonawala, the tribal vote strangely, or rather, in rather good news for you, the tribal vote has gone majorly to the BJP. Why do you think that is? Rahul Gandhi had gone and said कि आदिवासी लोगों का इंसल्ट करते हैं बीजेपी के लोग जब उनको वनवासी बुलाया जाता है. बीजेपी के लोग अपने बच्चों को भेजते हैं इंग्लिश मीडियम, आपको भीख मांगने के लिए शहरों में छोड़ देते हैं.
That's because, Padmaja, when Rahul Gandhi utters all these things, nobody takes him seriously and he has no credibility. His family ensured that not a single person from the tribal community ever became president of India. And it was Narendra Damodar Das Modi who ensured that the daughter of an Adivasi family coming from the most remotest parts of the country becomes the president of this country. For the first time, 15th of November is commemorated as Janjatiya Divas, Gaurav Divas, is because Birsa Munda ji is now being given the real place and honor that he was not given. It is for the first time that the ST budgets have been increased. It is for the first time that the ST community are getting a share in the local mining fund that is generated locally. It is the first time that the ST community has developed and got so many benefits, whether it's the schemes that Prime Minister Modi has started, the Ujwala, Pakka Awas, Mudra Yojana, Nal Se Jal, Ghar or Shauchalaya Yojana, all of them have a substantial chunk going to the ST community, and therefore it is Modi ki guarantee, performance and delivery versus Rahul ki nautanki, and any day people prefer Modi ki guarantee, not Rahul ki nautanki. In fact, this is the overwhelming message in the entire election. One is the Congress party, which for 70 years has divided this country, comes with a divisive card, and Modi says, Mera report card dekhiye, see my report card, and therefore people believe Modi's guarantee, not Rahul Gandhi's divisive card.
What I see in these data is that there is a swing, especially of the Sahu community, because in the Durg constituency, I think Tamradhwaj Sahu trailing. The Sahu community, it occupies around 14% of the 14% of the overall population.
So let me just explain to our viewers the dynamics of what the Sahu community that Lokesh Jindal is talking about. Now, the Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel himself is an OBC. He is an OBC Kurmi. The Sahus are also OBCs, but they are at odds with the Kurmis. They feel they haven't got enough representation. So what the BJP did is that they changed their state president to a Sahu candidate, Arun Sahu, and Tamardhwaj Sahu, who is also in the Baghel ministry, is not, his community feels that he's not being given enough importance. So has the Sahu 14% vote shifted away, that OBC? But then why did you do it to the Sahus? You're supposed to be the ultimate OBC party. आप खुद ही analysis कर रहे हो कि भाई OBCs बहुत नाराज है.
I want to just make certain points clear that the messaging to the community was something where we were not able to deliver the message completely. because the policies were never of any form of a neglect towards the community. In fact, Baghel Saab's policy were very much in line to the needs and the demands of the community. And sending the message, reaching out to the voter, that was something where things could have been worked upon and this outcome would not have
Okay, very quickly, Shehzad Poonawalla respond to that. Can we also take a look at these two seats specifically, the Sahu seats and that of Arun Sahu and Tamasdhwaj Sahu in particular? But Shehzad Poonawalla, respond in the meantime.
You know, Padmaja, of all the fake promises that the Congress made and then betrayed subsequently, the biggest losers in that sense were the tribal community in Chhattisgarh, who were made many promises, whether it's food parks in their district, whether it's the Mahatari Yojana and other Yojanas, but none of them were delivering on the ground. And therefore, the Congress party not only has historically ignored the tribal community, but it also made a bunch of promises it could not keep. In Rajasthan, for instance, the highest atrocities was against SCs and STs, and therefore nobody was seeing the kind of statements Congress was making, but the kind of delivery they were doing on the ground, and therefore people have en masse shifted to the BJP. By the way, the BJP's RSS, the Sangh Parivar, has been working for decades amongst the tribal community, the Eklavya school, the schools that have been started, and working there amongst the community, stopping them from the onslaught of the missionary and other forces that come to convert them. That has also been going on a grassroots level for 50 years, 60 years, and that the Congress has never done.
Okay, Sabha has something to say. Yes.
I think the main issue for the Congress, and they have to realize, is there's a complete hypocrisy with what your national leadership is saying and what is happening on the ground. You are talking all the time about Adani, but there are Adani projects. You're having mining projects in Adivasi lands, and I've traveled a lot in the Bastar region in the past, not in this election. Number one. Number two, you say Mohabbat ki dukaan, right? That is the other thing. And nothing wrong in saying all these beautiful things. But secondly, you could not even protect Christian tribals. You could not. And there was a level of alienation over there. And thirdly, so the BJP is authentically what it is. Whether one X likes it or not, they are what they are. They have a cadre, and they have for years worked on this, as Shehzad Poonawalla said, they have worked on this reconversion project, Ghar Vapsi. And there was this Mr. Judeo who's passed away in Jashpur area.
Dilip Singh Judeo.
Dilip Singh. We've all done those rounds once upon a time.
I think some of his relatives have also been fielded. Two of his relatives have been fielded.
Another is trailing by 100 odd votes at
so they are very loyal to their core beliefs.
So the point I'm making is that at the same time, you have this huge media outreach by Bhupesh Baghel. And the truth is that the BJP is not with clarity putting a face forward. So you have this, but what is the Congress actually? At the top level, you have this beautiful conversation about free of dirty capital, nothing. And at the ground, you're doing mining in the tribal areas. You're not protecting vulnerable people. So in that case, then the lies catch up with you.
Okay, can we? Yes.
Statistics. In fact, Jay can come in on this particular graphic. Just look at this. This is the urban agglomerates. No surprises that BJP is ahead of Congress there at 12. But rural areas, 41 BJP, 34 Congress. The Pathalgadi cluster, 13 BJP, 1 for Congress. Paddy growing area, 16, 17, almost even Stevens there. Core tribal once again, and this is very important, 20 for BJP, 5 for Congress here, and in Dandakarinya cluster, 8 BJP, 4 Congress. So the clear pattern of the tribal voter shifting is quite evident here.
This Pathalgadi cluster is a cluster where, actually the tribals were demanding a lot of autonomy. That's a movement going on for the last 7 years. Look at this, the most important. The Congress's, Padmaja, the biggest USP of the Baghel government was the MSP on paddy and the bonus. Yet there, the
and
BJP...
the farm loan waiver. They said कि हम फिर से आपके 50,000 रुपए के loan सारे माफ कर देंगे.
And in this paddy growing belt, the Congress has just got a 1 seat edge. Of the 33, the Congress is 17, the BJP is 16. So even that, what was perceived to be a big edge by the Congress, their great welfare and agrarian economics, the BJP seems to have given them a very good fight over there.
But do you have some of those specific seats that we were talking about?
Yeah, I checked the seat of Tamasdhwaj Sahu. He's trailing by 16,000 votes.
He's trailing by 16,000 votes.
Wow. Can I make one more point which I would like to make? 1 second. This state, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, were both created in the name of tribals, right? Jharkhand has a 26% tribal population and Chhattisgarh is 32%. Jharkhand has had tribal leadership both from the BJP and the JMM. If the BJP wants to actually do something right, they need to find a tribal leader. I know 32% Congress and BJP never they have their projected tribals. They should do that. That's
but also it will be interesting to see how much these tribal parties have managed to get in terms of vote share. Do we have a fix on that, or this?
Yeah, we'll have a fix. We'll have a fix.
Hamar Raj party, etc. Yes, JVC, you wanted to come in.
As far as the farmers are concerned, there is a clear divide between the big landowning farmers and the small farmers. The big landowning farmers have got benefited from Baghel government. That is a loan waiver. The small and marginalized farmers have got nothing, because when we went and talked to them, they said it is those big farmers who have taken those loans and they have been given waiver and we have not been given anything. As a result of which, that is the reason why Jay says even in agriculture or rice paddy growing area, the BJP is taking a lead because it is a large farmers going with Congress. The small marginalized farmers are going with the BJP, and the women, all Chhattisgarh, that thing of 12,000 rupees is going in favor of BJP because 50 lakh guarantee cards have been given.
You know, now
and that works.
Padmaja, about the smaller parties, all the tribal parties put together don't exceed 5.4% of the vote. That's the top.
So actually the tribal vote also, despite the existence of these parties, has gone to the BJP, which is a very interesting signal.
No, I think
Northern Chhattisgarh, these tribal parties come into picture.
Okay, Karan Verma.
Padmaja, we forget the impact the beneficiary schemes have made. Modi's beneficiary schemes have percolated down, and when you see people getting their surgeries done, whether it's Ayushman Bharat, whether it's a gas connection, whether it's Kisan Samman Nidhi, it works. The tribals have gravitated towards development policies of the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister has put himself on the line. He put his face on the line. So this is also a mandate for the Prime Minister. And look at Northern Chhattisgarh. It was considered to be Congress's stronghold. They've been wiped off from there, courtesy this gravitation of the tribals towards the BJP. Also the Mahadev scam, that also dented.
Narayanpur constituency is a classic example of the tribals moving towards the BJP, which is in Bastar region. Because there, the Vishwasis and the original tribals, there have been a conflict for the last 2 years. Even burial grounds were not clearly, given to those people. So as a result of which, they have been trying to talk to the collector.
I've got an interesting this thing. I was checking the Kavardha seat, which is where Vijay Sharma, I was reading this piece about people talking about Kavardha, and which is where Akbar Bhai, son of Muhammad Rashid, who is the Congress minister, the only Muhammad Akbar, the Muslim MLA and minister, he is trailing by there is 51,539 is Vijay Sharma, and Muhammad Akbar is at 39,195. Vijay Sharma, a lot of 12,000 ka margin, and very interestingly, the locals there were talking about how Vijay Sharma. So, you did not have a main face locally, but then you had in each assembly an individual. Like Vijay Sharma, I was hearing some people on TV say कि ये छत्तीसगढ़ का योगी है. Look at him, how he speaks.
He went to jail.
He's not taking any nonsense. Yeah, so when the Kavardha riots happened, Vijay Sharma was jailed. Subsequently taken out and fielded as a candidate. Shahzad Poonawala wants to come in on this.
Padmaja, I have a point.
Yeah, but just let him quickly come in, then I'll come to you. Yes.
Padmaja, I want to just... Padmaja, one thing I must tell you, and I don't know if people will agree with me or not, that there are issues amongst various communities, the tribals, the OBCs, of course, they are all wanting to become part of the developmental mainstream. But the manner of them wanting to address this is not by portraying them as a militant identity that conflicts with the idea of Bharat itself, but rather they want to become the Labhartis in a larger stakeholder in the growth of the country. What Rahul Gandhi was proposing to them in his lingo and narrative, and not because he thinks for their benefit, only because he wanted to consolidate them as a vote bank, was to pit them against the others. That is not the kind of mindset people want. They don't want to be pitted against communities based on identity. They rather want a larger identity of becoming stakeholders, and that is the fundamental difference that the Congress party does not get after 60 years. They still think this divide and rule will work. They try to divide the tribals from the mainstream. They try to divide the OBC from the mainstream. People of the OBC and tribal work say, we want to become the part of the mainstream. mainstream. These people want to divide them, and this approach is also something that is being rejected by the Congress. The Congress should today reflect on the kind of divisive politics it has played in these last 5 elections, narrative and campaign, and they should tell us that why are they continuing to play this divisive card.
Lokesh Jindal, do you want to respond to that? But before you do that, I want to point out another very interesting seat. Remember I was saying earlier that a young man died in the communal violence and his father was fielded. That particular seat is Saja, and Ishwar Sahu, who doesn't have any political background, he was just plucked out of nowhere and fielded by the BJP, is right now leading with 21,673 votes, and Ravindra Chaubey of the Indian National Congress is at 20,217. So the margin is narrow, but that man, who is not a politician, he is not an MP, MLA, nothing, has been plucked out of nowhere, and people of Saja are saying, we are voting for him. Lokesh.
See, Padmaja, in the 2013 elections, we had Congress having 40.3% of overall votes. And then we see the 2018, where we saw there was a swing. Is it clear? And in this swing, the Sahu vote, it went to others as well. Others was somewhere around 20%, 20.5%. And Congress was slight increase, 43.9. I would say 2 to 2.5%. Right now, if you look at the figure, the core voter of Congress is still intact. If you see, it's 41%.
Okay.
The core voter has...
I'm sorry to interrupt you for just a second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Gentlemen, we have the Telangana in charge. We have the Telangana BJP in charge. Prakash Javadekar joining us live. Mr. Javadekar, thank you very much for speaking to us. I want to, at the outset, congratulations, of course, but your thoughts on Telangana. Your vote share has increased, but the Prime Minister had said, ab ki baar BJP ki pehli baar sarkar.
So first is, the whole country is rejoicing, and world over there are reflections that BJP has won decisively in 3 states out of 4 states, and that clearly indicates that in coming parliament elections, we will score under Modi ji's leadership, because his leadership is accepted by people. They love him, they have faith in him, and after 10 years, rising popularity is the real hallmark, and therefore we will win more than 400 seats. After saying this, let me come to Telangana. What is the Telangana story? Telangana, we had only one MLA in 2018. We had only 7% vote. So I am very sure that ultimately when the votes final count will come, we may have increased by 3-fold. So we become a major force. Always Congress was number 2, BRS was number 1 for last 10 years. So this is not unnatural, because there was very much strong anti-incumbency. And we fought. Our president, Bandi Sanjay, had a yatra of 112 days. It created such an upsurge that there was an anti-incumbency. But only thing happened was that anti-incumbency benefit went to Congress.
Why?
So this is what has happened. BJP's vote and seats are increased. That is the real situation. And
but why did that anti-incumbency go to the Congress? That is the $1 million question, sir.
No, that went because it was always number 2 party. They had 29% vote even last elections. It is not as if surprise has happened in one day. So we tried, and as Prime Minister said, yes, we are forming the government in next election in Telangana also. Because people now trust BJP, and people want good governance, like good government, like Modi like good government. So that is the real fact. In Telangana also, I stayed there for 3 months, and I have seen people angry on the ruling party, but at the same time, not happy with Congress. But what happened was, the things, because they had the base of votes much more than us, that they got the benefit. That was the only story.
Madhav.
One question, sir. The momentum that you had going last year with the JHMC polls, where you got nearly a third of the seats and also successful in certain by-polls, what happened over the last 6 to 8 months? Somewhere did the BJP campaign lose steam? What exactly happened in your view?
See, these are the things to be discussed after when we see it, because BJP is the only party which even thinks of what happened and analyze even after victories and naturally after defeats. So there is no issue. We are a thinking party. And we are a correct self-correction also we carry out. And therefore we are winning. We were nowhere in 84, we were just 2 MPs. Now we will have 402 MPs in 24.
I want to ask,
Mr. Bandi Sanjay be one of the factors, sir, just as a follow-up to that? Is that one of the factors in your view?
Who?
Mr. Bandi Sanjay's removal, do you think that could have contributed, if he had continued, the BJP may have performed better? Is that a perception that many analysts have? Do you share that perception?
No, see, we don't analyze. I appreciate people analyzing, that's a democratic way of discourse, but we don't discuss and analyze our performance on TV screens.
My last question to you is, you have doubled your vote share. Currently, what I can see on the EC website, you are at about 14.08%. Back of the envelope calculation, how do you think this is going to translate for you in the Lok Sabha elections? From 4 seats, what are you going to be aiming at next year in the Lok Sabha in Telangana?
We are winning at least 8 seats, madam. That's what Lok Sabha in Telangana, we are winning at least 8 seats.
Can you tell us which ones? Just back of the envelope, because you are the Prabhari.
Even more, because now, yes, because DICE is very set up. No, I am worried now for Kerala, because I am originally state in charge of Kerala. I was election in charge in Telangana.
Yes.
But in Kerala also, we are winning at least 5 seats.
How many?
Parliament seats. And in Telangana also we'll 8 to 10 seats.
Okay, interesting. Mr. Prakash Javadekar, never say never. From doubling your vote share in the elections or the assembly, you are saying you're going to double your seat share in the Lok Sabha as well. One thing you cannot fault the BJP for is for fighting. Never giving up a fight, even in a place like Telangana. Thanks very much for joining us. We're taking a very quick break at this point. On the other side, we're going to talk about Madhya Pradesh next. Which are the regions that have delivered? The 2 big stories from Madhya Pradesh, the regions of Gwalior Chambal, the regions which nobody expected the BJP to perform in, which has really pulled in the seats for them. That's what we'll talk about in 2 minutes.
When journalism is led by integrity, and when experience meets passion, there is no scope for half-truths. When the noise drowns out the truth, and many lose sight of what is the real issue.
I ask the legitimate question and uncover the whole truth.
Don't tax the poor people who are using petrol, diesel to go to work or to send their children to school.
I give you the complete picture in black and white, not a colored opinion, facts that help you form your opinion.
The News Hour at 9. Weeknights at 9, only on Times Now.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
आपके ऊपर तो कई घोटालों के भी आजकल आरोप लग रहे हैं। देश में सिर्फ एक बात की चर्चा है कि क्या बीजेपी राहुल गांधी से डर गई।
She takes on the masters of Indian politics like no one else can.
विपक्ष कम से कम उत्तर प्रदेश में ये कह रहा है कि आप हवा बना रहे हैं, निवेश कोई आया ही नहीं इस राज्य में। राहुल गांधी का कहना है कि देश में लोकतंत्र मरता जा रहा है, खतरे में है।
Because she speaks for you the way no one else can.
What about the charges against the government that this is a favored company by the government? How do you look at India on the world map of countries to watch out?
Because Because your voice must be heard, your questions answered, above all else. Frankly Speaking with Navika Kumar.
Can I have your attention, please? क्या आप दिन की सही शुरुआत ढूंढ रहे हैं? I believe in an action-packed, fast-paced, agenda-setting start to the day. खबर सिर्फ दिखाना नहीं, असर होना भी जरूरी है. I'm Mamita Badwa. I'm Pratibha Tehushita Malhotra, and you're watching the Morning News Hour. Whenever news breaks, you will see us. Process it, analyze it, and broadcast it. After the spot reporters, we are the first responders. We are at the front line
of every news event.
We are situation analysts, raw, live, and unedited. Pure news.
Welcome back. The numbers are out and Times Now called it first here on your channel. But now it's time to take a deeper look at what the numbers are telling us. It's not just, remember, about what happens in 2023, but these developments are going to shape the next 5 months. Development number 1, we already showed you the story of Chhattisgarh. Now we talk about the other big story of the day, Madhya Pradesh, and how the BJP, from everyone saying it's going to be neck and neck with the Congress slightly ahead, look at where they are. They are 155. The party which could not get a majority on their own in 2018, even though they had a higher vote share than the Congress, they have removed all the kaante, as Shivraj Singh Chauhan said, and you have BJP at 155, Congress at 72. The only other party which has managed to salvage some pride is the BSP Plus in alliance with the Gondwana party. Perhaps I think 1 or 2 seats are to the Gondwana party over here. Let's listen in to how the Chief Minister and the Chief Minister, I don't know if he's going to be the next Chief Minister, spoke about these figures for the BJP. शिवराज सिंह चौहान
हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए हैं मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान। जीत का सेहरा जाहिर है इन्हीं के सर पर है। सर, इतना प्रचंड बहुमत किसको श्रेय जाता है?
देखिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रति जनता के मन में प्रेम और विश्वास, उनकी गारंटी पे भरोसा जन जन के मन में है। वे डबल इंजन की सरकार के काम हमने यहाँ केंद्र सरकार की योजनाओं को ढंग से लागू किया और मध्य प्रदेश का अगर आप देखेंगे स्वरूप तो बदल के रख दिया मध्य प्रदेश को। आज विकसित मध्य प्रदेश पूरे देश के सामने खड़ा हुआ है।
वो कौन सी योजना जो गेम चेंजर है? लाडली बहना या
योजनाएं अनेक है, इंफ्रा से लेके किसानों की, गरीबों की, लेकिन लाडली बहनों ने दिल में बहुत असर किया और बहनों का भरपूर आशीर्वाद मिला।
अब क्या रूपरेखा रहेगी आगे की?
पार्टी तय करेगी।
कांग्रेस लगातार जीत का दावा कर रही थी अभी तक, लेकिन कहां ड्रॉबैक रहा? आप अपनी विक्ट्री के लिए जीत के जिम्मेदार
करते थे। जनता में विश्वसनीयता हमारी थी। कांग्रेस पे लोगों ने भरोसा नहीं किया, उनके झूठे वादों पे भरोसा नहीं
चला है।
विकास और जन कल्याण चला है।
All right. Very studied silence by शिवराज सिंह चौहान when asked अब आगे की क्या रूपरेखा होगी, पार्टी डिसाइड करेगी। चलिए, लोगों ने ये तो डिसाइड कर लिया है what the vote share is, and look at the jump over here. The BJP from 41% in 2018. Remember I told you they were slightly ahead, less than a % difference over here. 40.9 Congress, 41% BJP, yet they did not get the halfway mark. The Congress under Kamal Nath made the government, but this time they're leaving nothing to chance. From 41%, they have jumped straight to 49%, and Jay says there's a story there.
Yeah, now this is a swing of 8%, but most importantly, in the last many years, or rather since the formation of the BJP, this is the highest state where even 2013 pre-Modi wave, the vote share was 47, not 49.5. This is like breaking records. The other important point is this vote share, which is touching close to 50, would touch 50 only in a Lok Sabha election. Now it's touched the 50 in an assembly election. That's absolutely stunning.
What are the key takeaways now? Quickly take a look at the takeaways from Madhya Pradesh. Massive win, needless to say, for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. Like Jess said, highest ever vote share. OBC pitch again fails for the Congress, didn't work in Chhattisgarh, hasn't worked in Madhya Pradesh. OBC dominant Baghelkhand actually preferred the BJP.
And by large numbers.
Large numbers. Yeah. Gwalior Chambal, also BJP is leading ahead of the Congress. This is the place where not just Jyotiraditya Scindia but also Narendra Singh Tomar belong to. Narendra Singh Tomar fielded here from Dimni. Yeah. Jay will tell us the fate of Narendra Singh Tomar from that seat. What did Jyotiraditya Scindia say about these results? Listen in.
हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए केंद्रीय मंत्री ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया सर प्रचंड जीत मिल रही है, किसको श्रेय दें?
मैं पहले आपके चैनल के द्वारा हमारे मध्य प्रदेश की समस्त जनता जनार्दन जिन्होंने अपना विश्वास जताया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में, मैं उनको नमन करता हूं और उनको प्रणाम करता हूं। जो मध्य प्रदेश में एक इतिहास रचा गया है, इस चुनाव में एक इतिहास रचा गया है, ये इतिहास से कम नहीं है। स्वर्णम अक्षरों में ये नतीजा लिखा जाएगा कि जो सरकार 18 साल से मध्य प्रदेश में जन सेवा के पथ पे चली है, उसे इस प्रचंड बहुमत मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने दिया है। और इसका अगर श्रेय किसी को जाता है तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जाता है, हमारे दोनों मार्गदर्शक अमित शाह जी, जेपी नड्डा साहब को, और प्रदेश के अंदर हमारे पार्टी के अध्यक्ष बीडी शर्मा जी को और हमारे लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी को जाता है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक एक कार्यकर्ता जिसने तन मन के साथ, खून पसीना के साथ इस पार्टी को सिंचित किया है, उन सभी को जाता है। सभी को मेरे दिल के गहराइयों से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और मध्य प्रदेश की जनता को तो मेरे तरफ से प्रणाम।
कांग्रेस कह रही है धर्म का कार्ड चला और बीजेपी कह रही है कि मोदी की गारंटी।
देखिए, कांग्रेस को थोड़ा स्पोर्ट्समैन स्पिरिट सीखना होगा। खेल के समय में जीत होती है, खेल के समय में हार होती है। जो जीतता है उसके गले में माला पड़े, जो हारे वो भी अपने दिल पर लेकर हार को स्वीकार करे। ये ईवीएम मशीन को कसूरवार दिलवाना, लोगों को कसूरवार दिलवाना, और कल तो लड्डू और सब कुछ बट रहे थे। हमने कहा हम शांति से बैठेंगे और जनता का नतीजा हम स्वीकार करेंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री को लेकर सवाल हो रहे हैं, मुख्यमंत्री को लेकर के सवाल हो रहे हैं।
मध्य प्रदेश में हमारे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी हैं, उनके जनहितैषी नीतियों के आधार पर और प्रधानमंत्री जी के पूर्ण एक तरफा एक सोच विकास प्रगति के आधार पर यह प्रचंड बहुमत आई है।
All right, so how is Narendra Singh Tomar doing at Dimni and what are the other big seats from Madhya Pradesh that you need to know? Over to you, Madhav and Jay.
Narendra Singh Tomar is actually still trailing by 2,402 votes as of the last 2 minutes. Okay. So that's an interesting. But across the state, otherwise, it's been phenomenal.
But he's the outlier. In an election season, we talk about outliers. Narendra Singh Tomar is the only central leader who's the outlier. The other central leaders, members of parliament, union ministers, have by and large done well. And let's start with Chambal. We saw Jyotiraditya Scindia there. This is the area where Jyotiraditya Scindia has clearly helped the BJP. Look at the gains for the BJP. 12 over there, about 16 to 18 of his leaders who had joined, if I'm not mistaken. And that clearly, Jay, has been a big gain. The total for the BJP here at 16, BSP, of course, at 2, and Congress at about 16.
And the most symbolic, look at this patch, Gwalior. Last 2018 election, Mr. Scindia was in the Congress. BJP lost all the Gwalior seats. They had lost Gwalior, East, South. You look at the Japanese fan now here. All of them are having a green, orange, green, orange, green, orange switch. He's taken that, symbolic enough, he's taken his seat to the BJP.
Because in the by-polls, they hadn't fared that well. The by-polls that happened, they didn't fare that well. The Congress was quite certain that in those areas, we are the ones who are going to sweep. That hasn't happened. Quick word, Shehzad Poonawala of the BJP continues with us. Mr. Tariq Khan of the Samajwadi Party, Lokesh Jindal here with us along with Karan Verma and JVC Sriram. Initial thoughts. Let's start with you, Lokesh Jindal. You have the OBC and the tribal vote, from the looks of it, decisively moving away from the Congress. We just spoke of Chhattisgarh, same applies there. Now we speak of Madhya Pradesh, same applies there. Telangana Muslim vote is moving. Oh, it's moving towards you. My bad. Yes. Chalo, kuch to aapki taraf move ho raha hai.
Yes. Padmaja, one very important aspect that I see over here is the party has to stop appointing people to take care of a particular section and reach and give them the responsibility to give the message to the voter base. The party will have to directly connect with the tribals, because up till now what has been happening is there are few who emerge as tribal leaders who take the responsibility of reaching out to the tribals, and then the entire responsibility is handed over to them. The party becomes least concerned about it. And this has backfired tremendously, and that is causing erosion because if you look at the data, the core voter of Congress is still intact. And the others, they have shifted to BJP. So BJP has emerged successful in reaching out to those tribals who were previous, because see, this time
abhi to pura din bhi khatam nahi hua hai, you are
no,
already
the point is, what is troubling is 140 villages, they voted for the first time. 140 villages, Naxal affected villages, they voted for the first time in these elections. And these voters, they were very well reached out by BJP because they were from the Bastar region. Where
okay, hold on a second. Shehzad Poonawalla, so is this... I have a question. Is this, hold on a second, Shehzad Poonawalla, is this then a failure? Lokesh Jindal sir, it's the failure of the Congress to be able to transmit the message more than the success of the BJP.
You know, this is the problem कि ताउम्र कांग्रेस यही गलती करती रही, धूल चेहरे पर थी, कांग्रेस आईना साफ करती रही. लोकेश जिंदल must understand that in Madhya Pradesh, all sections of society have seen a transformation in their lives. For 50 years, Madhya Pradesh was identified as a Bimaru state. Today, Madhya Pradesh has gone ahead on lot of indices, whether it's agricultural index, whether it's Arthvyavastha ka index, whether it's infrastructure ka index, and all of this has made difference in people's lives. Then when it comes to the card that they were trying to play, whether it's the tribals or the OBCs, who has actually helped transform their lives? It is Modi ji's Yojana. And if you analyze Modi ji's Yojana, every Yojana at the core of it has the Adivasi, has the OBC, has the Dalit Samaj, has the Shoshit Vanchit Samaj at the crux of it. And therefore they are being delivered these benefits, and there comes the Labharti Varg. This is the Jati that we cater to without making distinctions or without making them fight against each other. And therefore people have adopted that model of development and have voted for us. But unfortunately, Lokesh Jindal continues to live in a dreamland that those who have done nothing for these communities for the last 50 years are going to just play a card and then come off and take their vote. That does not happen.
The voter base has remained intact. It was from 40.8% to 40.2%. The point is, you have not caused any harm to our voter base. The gain that you have got is from the others which have swung towards BJP. So it is a matter of introspection that why was it a communication failure? No, it's not about I'm not going to enter into empty rhetoric.
1 second, let me intervene
listen, we are not over here. The campaign is over. We are at the electoral.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but I think we just have a first reaction from Narendra Singh Tomar. Counting is still going on, but he's trailing right now. First reaction we got from him.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी चुनाव पूरे ताकत से लड़ी और इसके लिए मैं सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं, बधाई देता हूं.
All right, we're also going to be joined by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad in just a while from now. But I want to ask you, Mr. Tariq Khan of the Samajwadi Party, आपने इतने जोर शोर से 71 सीटों पे अपने कैंडिडेट्स खड़े किए थे. अभी you have drawn a blank in Madhya Pradesh. Ajay Rai had said when you were fielding your candidates कि आपका वहां पर कोई बेस नहीं है, आपको कांग्रेस को नहीं डैमेज करना चाहिए. आपकी वो स्थिति तो नहीं हो गई कि हम तो डूबेंगे सनम, तुम्हें भी ले डूबेंगे?
It's nothing like that. We are working for our party, and let me congratulate all those who have performed in this election. It's a day of democracy. And celebration of democracy, who all have performed from Samajwadi Party. We have just congratulating them in whichever state they are performing. Point number one. Number two,
as of today, you have not performed anywhere. You have got 0 MLAs in all of elections today.
That's all right. That's the mandate of the people. We have to accept it. I am accepting at all the grounds that people have not voted for us. I am accepting it. How could anybody deny? Means how can anybody deny that people have not voted us? So we have to rethink that why people have not voted us in Madhya Pradesh. We have to think once again. But talking about the coalition, we have tried multiple times and we urge Congress to have a coalition with us. Why? Because Akhilesh ji thinks that presently we are fighting with each other, and just after 4 months we'll say that we all together and we are going into...
Sorry to interrupt you. Over to Navika Kumar.
स्वागत है आपका टाइम्स नाउ भारत और टाइम्स नाउ पर, और बधाई आपको. बीजेपी
3 राज्यों में और जो कहा जाता है हिंदी हार्टलैंड में दिल धड़कता है मोदी के लिए, और पनौती जो कह रहे थे आज वो कहीं छुप गए हैं, नजर नहीं आ रहे। क्या कहेंगे इस जीत के बारे में?
याद है विमान में हम लोग साथ यात्रा कर रहे थे, मैंने आपसे कहा था छत्तीसगढ़ भी हम जीतेंगे, तो आपने बड़े आश्चर्य से अपनी आंख फैलाते हुए मेरी तरफ कहा कि ये क्या बोल रहे हैं। हमने कहा देखेंगे क्या होता है, मैं वहां काम कर रहा हूं। तो आज कम से कम छत्तीसगढ़ बधाई दे दीजिए हमें आप।
बिल्कुल, मैं तो तीनों राज्यों के लिए आपको बधाई दे रही हूँ, छत्तीसगढ़ के लिए खास बधाई।
नहीं, चलिए धन्यवाद। दूसरी बात मुझे कहना है नाविका जी कि मैं एग्जिट पोल का बहुत सम्मान करता हूं संस्था के रूप में। एग्जिट पोल पर जब मिठाई बंटने लगती है ना, तो थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में सोचने की जरूरत है ना। हाँ, क्योंकि अब इस मैदान में बहुत लोग कूद जाते हैं। देखिए इस पूरे चुनाव का सार क्या है। मैं तो मध्य प्रदेश में भी बहुत प्रचार किया, मैं छत्तीसगढ़ में तो था ही 15-20 दिन, वहां तो मैं 3-4 कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी की व्यवस्था में बैठा हुआ था। देखिए भारत के लोकतंत्र में एक बहुत बड़ा माइलस्टोन बदलाव आया है, ट्रस्ट, नेता के ऊपर ट्रस्ट। और ये जो मोदी जी की गारंटी है, सिर्फ ये जुमला नहीं है, लोग इसको फील करते हैं। और देखिए अभी पूरे आप तो बिहार और हिंदी पट्टी की पॉलिटिक्स को समझती है नाविका जी। आजकल का नया फैशन क्या है, कास्ट सेंसर्स। क्या नीतीश कुमार, क्या अखिलेश यादव और राहुल गांधी, तो एक नया चीट उनको पकड़ाया गया है किसी ने कास्ट सेंसर्स का। क्या कहा मोदी जी ने कि मेरे लिए 4 ही कास्ट है, गरीब, किसान, महिला, बेटी और नौजवान। और ये सभी जो प्रदेश हैं हिंदी पट्टी के, ये सबों में बैकवर्ड पॉलिटिक्स, कास्ट पॉलिटिक्स बहुत डोमिनेंट है। आप भी जानती हैं, आदिवासी भी हैं, पिछड़े भी हैं। जनता इससे ऊपर उठती है। हर जगह राहुल गांधी कास्ट पॉलिटिक्स की बात करते हैं, सेंसस की बात करते हैं। अब वो सेंसस उनके परिवार में लागू होगा कि नहीं, ये अलग बात है। अखिलेश पर लागू होगा कि नहीं, तेजस्वी को याद लागू होगा कि नहीं, अलग बात है। लेकिन ये देश की समझदारी का एक बहुत बड़ा बदलाव है, इसको समझिए। गुड गवर्नेंस, ट्रस्ट इन द लीडर और जात के ऊपर उठकर डिलीवरी का विश्वास करना।
रविशंकर प्रसाद जी, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं, पर मैं एक छोटा सा प्रोटेस्ट लॉन्च करना चाहती हूँ। कांग्रेस पार्टी बॉयकॉट करती है, इंडिया गठबंधन बॉयकॉट करता है। अब बीजेपी जीतने के बाद भी अगर पत्रकारों पर ही अपनी राइफल निकाल के रखेगी, तो ये पत्रकार बेचारा कहां जाएगा? इसके बारे में भी जरूर कुछ सोचिएगा रविशंकर प्रसाद जी।
मैं आप पर राइफल चला रहा हूं क्या? लेकिन नाविका जी, साल भर आप सवाल पूछते हैं, ये आपका अधिकार है। आज जब हम जीते हैं तो थोड़ा व्यंग करेंगे तो उसमें क्या परेशानी है भाई?
नहीं, बिल्कुल कोई परेशानी
आप तो जानती हैं,
आज आपका दिन है।
सटायर, ह्यूमर, व्यंग, ये तो लोकतंत्र का लोकराज है।
और 9 रसों में इन तीनों का ही इस्तेमाल हो रहा है। लेकिन मैं हैंड ओवर कर रही हूं आपको टाइम्स नाउ स्टूडियो में, जहां पद्मजा जोशी मेरी कॉलीग आपके लिए इंतजार है उनको आपसे सवाल पूछने का। पर टाइम्स नाउ नवभारत पर मेरे साथ जुड़ने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद। ओवर टू पद्मजा।
Thanks very much, Navika. Ravi Shankar ji, you spoke of the caste census, and the common wisdom is that the idea of caste census was first given to Rahul Gandhi by Nitish ji and Tejasvi Yadav. Do you think after these kind of results, and that too in states which have a large OBC population, we will see the death of this entire call and the idea of a nationwide caste census? All right, we will just try and have that audio fixed. I think there was a bit of a glitch over there. But, we were talking about the main takeaways of Madhya Pradesh. Are there some more OBC areas? Since everyone is now talking about the caste census, can you show us those areas where there is a large OBC population, a backward population, scheduled caste population? Which way have they voted?
Well, these are two important statistics that we're looking at, and I think the demographic that you're talking about comes in these agricultural belts, where 15 Congress, 45 BJP, and this area of rural as well, where 61 versus 128. How does
Even
this...
among the scheduled caste,
yes,
12 Congress, 23 BJP.
Yes.
Even among the Adivasi youth, it's an even match.
Right. Yeah. So do these areas pretty much match the OBC demographic that Padmaja is
absolutely.
talking about?
No, it's one thing is very clear, that the narrative of Jitni Abadi Utna Haq perfectly caters to this area.
Okay, Jitni Abadi, Utna Haq और उतने वोट सीमिटली बीजेपी को मिले हैं, एटलीस्ट मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ में. रविशंकर प्रसाद जी इज बैक विद अस. रविशंकर जी, आप ओबीसी कास्ट सेंसस की बात कर रहे थे. द कॉमन विजडम इज दैट दिस वाज एन आइडिया दैट वाज गिवन टू मिस्टर गांधी बाय नीतीश जी एंड तेजस्वी यादव. After these results, especially in states where there is a large OBC population, do you think we will see the death of this idea of a nationwide caste census?
Let me give my observations to you, Padmaja, in a different context. Dominating caste narrative was an order of the day at some point in time, 90s. What has happened today? Today it stands complemented with good governance. That's the first thing I would like to say. The second thing that's very important, people have realized this whole parchi of caste census is basically linked to their own family welfare. That's very important. And where Modi ji had what said, हमारे लिए चार जातियां हैं, गरीब, नौजवान, बेटियां, महिलाएं, बहनें और किसान. This result underscores that need, that when Modi is saying the trust factor is in Modi to deliver on the ground. And this particular experience, Padmaja, I would like to share with you. I traveled extensively in Chhattisgarh, in Madhya Pradesh. I remember in the Rath, in the constituency of Khajuraho and all, with the state president, I was there. There was a big meeting, absolutely in a rural area. The rural market was there. Large number of Ladli Bahan beneficiaries were there. When I was speaking, I found many of them were recording my bhashan through their smartphone. I smiled. I just asked them a question. How many of you got your free vaccination for COVID? All of them raised their hand. I'm like, how you got the information as to on which day, which dose will be given? It came on our mobile, you know. I asked them, how many of you are on Facebook or Twitter? Half of them raised their hand. This is delivery, Padmaja. Try to understand what I'm trying to convey. When you seek to change the narrative of development and they feel it, the state level or the national level, then they say what they say is just baat or jumla, and what he is saying is on the ground. That is a tectonic shift in the polity of the country. You must understand. The second thing is, they see that it is Narendra Modi who made a very distinguished scheduled caste leader as the President of India, and very distinguished scheduled tribe leader, Draupadi Murmu ji, as the President of India. All these things and others only cater for the family. This is important.
But
Modi is trust, his delivery, and the people of India. This is a tectonic shift.
But do you think that this is going to be applied to Bihar as well? Because Bihar, Nitish Kumar, or at least his supporters feel, has played a major master stroke, जहाँ पे उन्होंने कास्ट सेंसस करा के रिजल्ट आउट कर दिया अक्टूबर 2 को, उन्होंने रिजर्वेशन 75% कर दिया है. So, do you think that this is going to be an outlier, Bihar, where caste still is going to be the calling card and a master stroke for the JDU, RJD?
पद्मजा जी जरा रुकिए ना, इलेक्शन होने दीजिए ना, रिजल्ट आपको बताएंगे, हम तो आपसे बात करेंगे ना. Come on, this whole shift, otherwise the Lalu Prasad would never have lost. When we were fighting against his corruption fodder scam, you know, I was a lawyer in the PIL to expose everything, you know it very well. Now Bihar has, and what is Nitish Babu? I don't want to use the great abbreviation which Lalu Prasad uses for him. The people of India know for the sake of power he can go to any extent. If everything is on caste, then what the hell you are doing for 18 years? Are the people going to ask it or not? They will leave it. We will take care of it. But I am trying to underscore a larger narrative as to how the polity of India is changing beyond caste. Delivery, good governance, integrity, dedication, and the element of trust this leader cares for the country, cares for us.
Final
I
question.
think that is very important.
Final question I want to ask you, Ravi Shankar ji. Where does that leave INDI? Even as the 5 state elections were underway, Nitish Kumar was very angry. He said, आजकल कांग्रेस को टाइम नहीं है, वो चुनाव में लगी हुई है. अब 3 दिसंबर के बाद 6 दिसंबर को there is going to be an informal meeting. How do you think equations are going to change? Already given how Akhilesh Yadav has spoken out, Nitish Kumar not too happy. What happens to INDIA from here? And Nitish ji in particular.
Padmaja, in this whole India alliance or Indic, whatever you call it, this whole expression of formal to informal to super formal to totally informal to whispering, come on, these are past is past. But yes, this is going to lead to a lot of volcanic eruptions within that congregation. They are going to say कि पहले कांग्रेस पार्टी अपनी औकात पे आओ तो हमसे बात करो. I hope you are understanding. तो आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या, देखा जाएगा.
चलिए आगे आगे देखिए क्या होता है.
But people of India are going to give a bigger majority to Modi ji in the year 24. उसका आगाज हो चुका.
We will hold you to your word, specifically in Bihar as well, since you have promised that we are going to discuss that. Thank you very much, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, for joining us. Let's cut straight across to Union Minister Smriti Irani.
क्योंकि राहुल गांधी ने भारत जोड़ो यात्रा तेलंगाना में की थी और 2 बड़े राज्य जिनमें की थी वो मध्य प्रदेश और राजस्थान थे. उसके अलावा उन्होंने ये जो कास्ट सेंसस का मुद्दा उठाया था, अडानी का मुद्दा उठाया था, उस पर आपको लगता है कि आज जनता ने जवाब दिया है? आप क्या कहेंगी?
बेशक जनता ने जवाब दिया. मुझे लगता है गांधी खानदान ने जो विशेष नरेंद्र मोदी पर पर्सनल अटैक्स किए वो जनता को रास नहीं आए, क्योंकि जनता जानते हैं कि हमारे प्रधान सेवक समर्पित हैं लोक कल्याण के लिए, हमारे प्रधान सेवक समर्पित हैं भारत के विकास के लिए. लेकिन नाविका जी, मैं 5 मुद्दों पर विशेष आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगी. मोदी जी की जो पॉलिटिक्स है दैट इज अबाउट फिस्कल डिसिप्लिन एंड प्रूडेंस, आज वो रंग लाई है. राहुल गांधी ने बार बार ओबीसी का या कास्ट सेंसस का उल्लेख किया. शायद वो इस खुशफहमी में थे कि जनता नहीं जानती कि नरेंद्र मोदी स्वयं एक ओबीसी परिवार से है, स्वयं गरीब परिवार से हैं, स्वयं ग्रामीण अंचल से हैं, और राहुल गांधी के आसपास के शायद पैराफिलिया ने उनको भ्रमित कर दिया होगा कि देखिए मोदी के बारे में ये सारी बातें, मोदी का संघर्ष जनता जनार्दन नहीं जानती. तीसरी बात जो मैं कहना चाहती हूँ, नरेंद्र मोदी जब कहते हैं कि मैं पर्सनली गारंटी कर रहा हूँ, इतनी बड़ी एक पॉलिटिकल मुझे लगता है स्टैंड आज तक कभी भी किसी भी प्रधानमंत्री ने हमारे देश के इतिहास में नहीं लिया. और जनता का उस स्टैंड के प्रति, उस लीडरशिप के प्रति विश्वास, ये जानते हुए कि नरेंद्र मोदी चीफ मिनिस्ट्रियल कैंडिडेट नहीं है, देश के प्रधान सेवक है, लेकिन जनता का ये विश्वास. चौथी बात मुझे लगता है नरेंद्र मोदी ने कहा कि हम सिर्फ आज के लिए ना जिए, अभी के लिए ना जिए, एक अमृत काल है हिंदुस्तान का, विकसित भारत के संकल्प के साथ हम लोग जिए. उन्होंने राइट्स, अधिकारों की बात की, लेकिन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी का भी एहसास दिलाया हमारे नागरिकों के मध्य में. नरेंद्र मोदी के राइट्स और रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज के बीच का जो बैलेंस है आज वो रंग लाई है. और मुझे लगता है 5वां, एक महिला होने के नाते मुझे विशेष इस बात का आनंद है that women have now emerged as a decisive पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर इन इंडियन पॉलिटिक्स. अगर आप छत्तीसगढ़ में देखें 77 लाख हमारे जो वोटर्स हैं वो महिलाएं रहीं. 1.5 करोड़ जो वोटर्स हमारे मध्य प्रदेश में रहे उसमें भी 76% महिलाएं रहीं. और अगर आप महिला वोटर का कहीं ना कहीं रिसर्च करें पॉलिटिकली तो ये स्थापित हो चुका है कि जब महिला देखती है कि एक विकासशील प्रगतिशील नेतृत्व उसको मिल रहा है तो महिला ऐसे नेता का समर्थन करती है. तो जोशो खरोश से महिलाओं का समर्थन नरेंद्र मोदी को मिला. मैं विशेष रूप से भाजपा की महिला कार्यकर्ता होने के नाते इस बात का आनंद लेती हूँ.
बिल्कुल, और ये हमारे सर्वे में भी निकल के आया था कि महिला वोटर जो हैं वो बीजेपी की तरफ हैं. लेकिन स्मृति जी, आपको हम हमेशा जायंट किलर ऑफ अमेठी कहते रहे हैं पिछले 5 सालों से. आज आप ही के अंदाज में पूछना चाहूंगी कि आज आप राहुल गांधी जी को क्या मैसेज देंगी?
कोई मैसेज नहीं देना चाहती नाविका जी. जो खुद अपनी ईगो में डूब रहा हो उसको ना तिनका दिखता है ना उसको सूर्य का तेज दिखता है। आज उस डूबते हुए जहाज को कहना अगर चाहूँ तो मात्र इतना कहना चाहूँगी कि तुमने सूरज पर, जो पॉलिटिकल सूरज है हिंदुस्तान की राजनीति में, उस पर थूक कर देख लिया, कटाक्ष कर कर देख लिया। जवाब उस व्यक्ति ने नहीं, देश की जनता ने दिया है।
बिल्कुल, देश की जनता ने जवाब दिया है। और 2024 का रास्ता अब कितना साफ नजर आ रहा है स्मृति ईरानी जी?
नाविका जी, मेरा सौभाग्य रहा है कि मैं नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ लगभग एक कार्यकर्ता के नाते 1.5 से 2 दशक काम कर चुकी हूँ। मैं इतना ही कहूँगी, हम इस खुशफहमी में ना रहें कि आज की जीत के बाद मोदी जी आराम से बैठेंगे 2024 का इंतज़ार करते हुए। आपको याद दिला दूं, इन प्रदेशों के चुनाव में रैलीज करने के साथ साथ दिवाली का पर्व वो फिर भी सरहद पर मना कर आए। सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की बहनों को उन्होंने ड्रोन की सौगात दी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के प्रोजेक्ट्स पर प्रगति का रिव्यू किया। ये मोदी मैजिक है, ये कभी भी अपने आप को फॉर ग्रांटेड नहीं लेते। ये मोदी का नेतृत्व है जो हर प्रांत में, हर बूथ तक, हर कार्यकर्ता तक पहुंचने में विश्वास रखते हैं। ये वो गाड़ी है विकास की जो चल पड़ी है और तब तक नहीं थमेगी जब तक विकसित भारत के स्टेशन पर आकर रुकती नहीं है।
कभी थकते नहीं है, क्योंकि मोदी जी अगर सरहद पर थे तो अमित शाह जी चुनाव के बाद सीधा बंगाल में थे और उन्होंने आह्वान कर दिया कि अब 2024 की कवायद भी शुरू हो गई है। तो ये जो जोड़ी है नरेंद्र मोदी की, उनकी गारंटी की, और पीछे रणनीति की जो अमित शाह जी की है, इसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
मैं इतना ही कहूँगी कि आपने आज सही कहा एक प्रश्न में कि एग्जिट पोल के जितने भी हमारे प्रणेता हैं उन सब ने कहा था छत्तीसगढ़ तो भूल जाओ, अच्छे से अच्छा भाजपा की 40 तक सीटें आएंगी। ये उनका काम है और उनको ऐसे ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट्स मिल रही थी। कांग्रेस के इर्द गिर्द घूमने वाले नेता भी इस बात को पुख्ता करने का प्रयास कर रहे थे। लेकिन आपने जिस जोड़ी की बात की उसमें एक तीसरी त्रिमूर्ति बीजेपी की मैं जोड़ना चाहूँगी। हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी भी, इन तीनों ने मिलकर जिस प्रकार से धरातल पर हर बूथ पर कार्यकर्ता को सशक्त किया। और सही कहा आपने, एक तरफ सभी राज्यों में प्रचार के साथ साथ सरहद पर पहुंचना, राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर कई विशेष न सिर्फ पॉलिसी डिसीजंस लेना, अमित भाई का न सिर्फ बंगाल जाना बल्कि अमित भाई का भी राज्यों में प्रचार करना, नड्डा जी का भी जिस प्रकार से आपने प्रचार देखा है। मुझे 2 चीज़ों पर विशेष गर्व होता है। जिन तीनों का आपने नाम लिया वो किसी भी राजनीतिक परिवार के सदस्य नहीं हैं, कर्मठ कार्यकर्ता हैं जो बूथ से उभरकर राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर पहुंचे हैं। दूसरी बात नाविका जी, ये हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं को भी एक बहुत ही सुखद संकेत है कि आपने एक फतह कर ली, लेकिन सफलता के उस शिखर पर आराम से बैठना नहीं है, नए शिखरों की तलाश करनी है, उन नई ऊंचाइयों की तलाश करनी है। लेकिन वो नई ऊंचाई पाना किस लिए है? अपने लिए नहीं, अपने राष्ट्र और अपने संगठन के लिए। तो आज का दिन जीत का जश्न ज़रूर है, लेकिन विनम्रता का भी एहसास हमारा नेतृत्व हमें कराता है।
बिल्कुल, आप सही कह रही हैं। और शायद कांग्रेस पार्टी ये भी जानेगी और इंडिया गठबंधन ये भी जानेगा कि शायद पत्रकारों को बैन करने से, बॉयकॉट करने से शायद चुनाव नहीं जीते जाते। ये भी मैसेज है।
प्रश्न तो ये है कि क्या गठबंधन सरवाइव करेगा इस इलेक्टोरल डिबैकल को?
बस, बहुत आपने सही सवाल उठा दिया और चर्चा अब इसी बात की है। और आगे आगे देखिए होता है क्या। हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए और पटाखा एक चलाने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका स्मृति ईरानी जी। जुड़े आप हमारे साथ, नमस्कार और बहुत बधाई आपको और आपकी पार्टी को, आपकी पूरी टीम कार्यकर्ताओं की भी। और इस वक्त मैं अपने सहयोगी अंकित से
When journalism is led by integrity and when experience meets passion, there is no scope for half-truths. When the noise drowns out the truth and many lose sight of what is the real issue.
I ask the legitimate question, and uncover the whole truth.
Don't tax the poor people who are using petrol, diesel to go to work or to send their children to school.
I give you the complete picture in black and white. Not a colored opinion, facts that help you form your opinion.
The News Hour at 9. Weeknights at 9. Only on Times Now.
She asks tough questions like no other journalist.
आपके ऊपर तो कई घोटालों के भी आजकल आरोप लग रहे हैं। देश में सिर्फ एक बात की चर्चा है कि क्या बीजेपी राहुल गांधी से डर गई?
She takes on the masters of Indian politics like no one else can.
विपक्ष कम से कम उत्तर प्रदेश में ये कह रहा है कि आप हवा बना रहे हैं, निवेश कोई आया ही नहीं इस राज्य में। राहुल गांधी का कहना है कि देश में लोकतंत्र मरता जा रहा है, खतरे में है।
Because she speaks for you.
Welcome back. You're with Results Day live here on Times Now, and let's cut across live now to Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. I believe he's addressing party workers there. Let's cut across live to that. Conditions continuing on ground there in Bhopal. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, certainly the man who is leading the party and the campaign. Question marks over what call the BJP leadership will take in terms of who will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Can there be a change? Is that a possibility? A question certainly that many are asking at this point of time. All right, I'm told we can cut across live once again to that. Let's listen in.
क्योंकि उनके आशीर्वाद से जीत हासिल की है और लाडली बहनाओं तुम्हें ये जीत समर्पित करता हूँ, तुम्हारी जीत है। भाई और बहन मिलकर हम साथ चलेंगे और मध्य प्रदेश को भी आगे बढ़ाएंगे और जनता की और बहनों की जिंदगी भी बदलेंगे। बोले भाई बहन सदा साथ रहेंगे मिलकर, मध्य प्रदेश को आगे बढ़ाएंगे, जनता की जिंदगी भी बदलेंगे और बहनें भी आगे बढ़ती जाएगी। मेरी बहनों, बारंबार फिर मैं अपनी बहनों को शीश झुका के प्रणाम करता हूँ, बारंबार प्रणाम करता हूँ। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै। मैं बारंबार प्रणाम मेरी बहनों, बारंबार प्रणाम। लाडली बहनों की, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।